Alrighty, let's start. I'll close these. I wonder where the music's gonna start in this game. I still haven't done the music, the volume checks, so it may blast your ears for a moment. Sorry if that happens. Alright, I'm gonna start. Tab is skip text mode. Yes. Yes. C is show in-game menu. H is hide user interface. Page up and down, my switch show history log. The heck? Which button is that? Okay. Just use mouse wheel. S has made screenshot. Oh, the server's online. It's up. Love, money, rock and roll. The music's fine. Anime! Anime's always amazing. Man. So, all I know is that this game is emotional. And I don't know. I just know it's emotional. Now, there's Creative Commons license under this thing, so this music should not be used to make money upon, so I don't know how this is gonna work. Anyways. Watch while streaming? That sounds like a great idea. Support. New game. Alright. This is made by the same person that made Everlasting Summer, which I heard was a good game. Never heard of this game. Really, Virtual Bra? Really? It's called Love, Money, Rock and Roll. I saw it on mobile version, and I haven't played it yet. Then I realized that it's not only on... Wait. Whoa. Whoa. What happened? Yeah, Everlasting Summer. It's made by the same people. These falling cherry petals. I don't know if it's on auto or not. But some nice music. Hello, Gordon. Hey, Phoenix. I heard it's like a really emotional story, so guys, get ready for an emotional roller coaster. Okay, these falling cherry petals. What does this do? I guess it continues. I have the tissue ready. Does anyone actually find them beautiful? Does anyone really see a deep meaning in their whirling? Perhaps this interplay of color, the purple velvet against the setting sun, does mesmerize. No doubt, back then, I, too, watched this leaf fall and thought so. Perhaps too much time has passed. I have forgotten. I have changed. Only the trees are still the same. They don't care. They came into this world before me, and they will yet outlive my descendants. They don't care how beautiful their falling petals are, how fast they fell, or at what angle. It's all the same to them. Why would they bother such a tien? To them, this is nothing more than a routine change of the seasons. To me, though, this is a flood of memories. Hey, Ahmed, welcome. The tree in front of me now is just like any is just like the one on that day. The day when I had to something. The day when it was too late to do anything. It's the same. The same are the petals too, falling with perfidious indifference. They truly don't care. They don't care if one day a photographer makes an entire exhibition of their images, or if a pair of sweethearts falls even more deeply in love, enchanted by their ceaseless dance. The music certainly is setting the mood, very true. That's how nature is. Big words. It's not how I am. Same as that day, a year earlier. That day the petals were falling off the trees as well. Back then, too, nature was lying down. Not dying, no, but falling asleep, to wake up again in the spring, the fire of life rekindled. Sitting under this tree, I was remembering all the joy and all the sadness. Do you really love me? Yes. Truly? Yes. She turned away while the petals kept falling, getting tangled in her hair, making her look even more beautiful. You know, these cherry petals really suit you. She turned around. She probably didn't feel like it. She probably expected something else. Elegant phrases, intelligent words, something. But not this. Really? Yes, of course. She smiled. I, too, must have expected something different. Feelings, confessions, as beautiful as the fluttering petals. But at that time, those words were more important to me than anything else. More important than the tree. More important than the moment. More important than life itself. Because I realized that they were like a petal resting in my hand before it fell to the ground. So near, so fragile, so precious. It's just a story for sleep. What do you mean? Okay, so what the heck has happened? What the heck happened? I'm so confused. I woke up. The fan was humming obnoxiously as ever. Its noise must have been what woke me up. I was sick of it. Of course, it was a necessary evil. The summer heat was relentless, even with the doors open. It was 3 in the morning, and the silence was sickening. Dear God, better to hear the blare of police sirens, or the shouting of a tipsy neighbor, or the screeching of car tires. Anything but this obnoxious fan. I would have turned it off long ago, but then I would have certainly gotten cooked alive by the heat. Heck, Russian winters had nothing on Japanese summers. With effort, I got up and went to the kitchen for some water. What were Russian winters like anyway? Some muffled creaking came from the floorboards under my feet, but the rest of the house, which consisted of 3 bedrooms, a living room, a bathroom, and some pantries, paid no attention to its sole inhabitant. Dang, it really was 3 a.m. I don't get it. Does this guy have some kind of tree fetish? What the heck? No! It's just... I don't know what actually happened to, but I think the girl, like... I confessed to the girl, and then instead of me telling about my feelings, I just full on just said, yo, you look pretty by the tree. Anyways. Is more important than getting a top frag, though. You're just telling a girl, it's like, nah, your feelings, top frag is way more worth it. I gulped the water down greedily, spilling half over myself. Next morning, I had to go to school. What's with this kink shaming? What do you mean kink shaming? I'm just saying what happened. Some random girl was with me, and then I confessed my feelings. What's wrong with that? Had to. Who was compelling me? Maybe I was the one who came up with these stupid duties and responsibilities, straining myself with the necessity of socializing and waiting for that useless piece of paper, which would attest me to me possessing a high school education. I must have invested this world myself, as was my wont. I must have made it up alongside all the other worlds that I fabricated daily, for myself, for those I knew, for the whole world. These obligations were nothing but the stupid conventions of that world. By a stroke of bad luck, it was also the world that most people viewed as the real one. I poured myself another glass of water and returned to bed. It's a nice room, though. The moon shone brightly, animating every speck of dust. In its mournful light, my room looked entirely different, like a portal to another world. A world that was beyond even my imagination. A silver ray lighted on the table, inching towards a heap of papers. School papers. An unfinished novel. Letters. From my grandmother, from friends in Russia. And I got up and put a particular scrap of paper into a drawer. Had it been sitting there for a year? Or, why should it have bothered me? Then again, why was it on my table? I should have tossed it long ago. I jumped up, took a step towards the table, and came to a halt. How could I? It's not as if I hadn't tried before. More than once. The phone rang loudly. Was that a love letter? Very loudly. It was 3 a.m. Who could possibly need to talk to me at this hour? To a dejected high schooler, sunk in contemplation. However, I was used to it. Used to 3 a.m. calls. Alright. Hello? Hi. You're not asleep? Oh, it's this girl. I wonder. Was it the same girl? You're not asleep? As you can see. I felt an impulse to hang up and disconnect the phone. But even more, I wish that she could now be here, close by. How come? How should I know? Probably because you called me? She mumbled something unintelligible. How are things in general? How should they be, in general, at 3 a.m? I don't know. Great. Well then, they're great. Oh, quit that. Well, what did you want to hear? I just wanted to call. So you mean it's okay to call at 3 a.m? What is my door doing? I saw the light come on in your kitchen, so I figured you were up. Are you spying on me? No, I was just... The line went silent for a few seconds. She must have been trying to think of something that wouldn't sound too ridiculous. It's just that I couldn't sleep either. Why either? What if I had been sleeping? But you aren't now. Okay, let's start from the beginning. What did you want? I wanted to know. She paused mid-sentence, as if working up the courage before continuing more confidently. Are you coming to school tomorrow? Suppose I do. Then I'll come by for you in the morning. Now that's just great. It's 3 a.m, and you're gonna come by. When? In 3 hours? So we won't be late. You know what? I think I'm going to take a pass. Hey, you can't keep missing school. At this rate, you won't be able to graduate. And then you won't be able to find a good job. And then... She got entirely tangled up in the predictions of my future. Oh, well, no biggie. No, that's not well. Leaving the door unlocked tomorrow? Leave the door unlocked tomorrow, in the morning. You have the keys. What does it matter if I lock the door? Oh, right. See you in the morning, then. See you. How are you doing, Squeezer? Welcome. I didn't feel like arguing. It would have done no good anyways. She would have come and wake me up regardless. That's what she did almost every day. Why did I ever give her the keys? Well, that was a while back. It must have been about a year. The cherry petals were probably falling on that day as well. But to blink with it. I thought to set the alarm so I can get up before she came. Not that it mattered much, but it was getting old. What more, I worried that I may have become too accustomed to it, seeing that familiar face every morning. Dependent even, which was something I definitely could not allow to happen. So, if she wanted to come in the morning, fine. But she wouldn't be waking me up again. School is for losers. Bruh, what do you mean by that? Interesting. A 100 bells were chiming with 100 melodies in my head, announcing the morning. In that medley, was a cheerful chirping of the birds, the construction on a neighborhood street, the boisterous shouts of the street vendors, as well as the fan, which had not quit humming for a second, the grumpy muttering somewhere close by. Ah, hello. Hello, you here to wake me up? Oh, you're blinking. That's scaring me. The fixed gaze of large green eyes, the pounding lips, and the 200 red the 200 the two red braids all informed me that I had slept in. What time is it? The girl, oh my god, they're moving. I'm not used to this. The girl picked up the alarm and shoved it in my face. But still early. I protested. The early bird gets the worm. This was Himitsu. Ah, she's going. She blinks. She moves. Whoa. Oh god. This is such... Oh my god, I'm not used to this. She's blinking and she moves. Holy shoot. Because I'm not used to this. Anyways, it was Himitsu. I seem to have known her my whole life, or at least since my parents and I had moved to Japan. Her mother was Russian, although she divorced Himitsu's father when we were still children. Okay, enough lounging around. Time to wake up. Time to get up, wash up, and eat breakfast, and go to school. Anime girls do be scary now. Bro, true, that fan though. That fan do be moving pretty nice. Man, I feel kinda... Bro, where's the log? It's not telling me. It's not giving me the log. No. This was how most of my days started, though. After so many years, I'd become accustomed to it. This VN is very high-tech. Help us! Help me! Wait. No. Anyways. Oh well, I skipped a line. It is what it is. Man, that high-tech fan. Incidentally, I had forgotten to introduce myself. Nikolai. Okay. A high school senior. Nico-kun. Himitsu's voice carried through the entire house, and it no longer felt quite so empty and lonely. I quickly got washed and dressed, then came into the kitchen. Nikolai from Call of Duty. The house was too big for one person. In fact, it was probably designed for a multi-generational family. Grandparents, parents, children, grandchildren. The empty space felt oppressive, even when my parents were still with me. Now it just feels like a museum or a library. Who, in their right mind, would want to live there, especially by themselves? Bon appetit! Same to you. An omelet and several kinds of salads were gracing the table. Is it too loud for you guys? It's too loud for me. Oh well. Yo, it's the GTA 5 I picked up a piece of cucumber with my chopsticks and was lazily shifting it around the plate. Not hungry? I am, but I can't live off grass like a rabbit. Oh my god, she's moving so smooth. Dude, this is high tech. And that fan in the background is also moving. Holy shoot. Do you guys see the background? The fan is moving. Okay, this is too overwhelming for me. Mitsu frowned. So, is instant ramen better in your book? I don't know about better, but it's certainly better tasting. Oh my god! Animation! Stop moving. Hey. She puffed out her cheeks comically, which made her look like a cute hamster. I put work into it, you know? K.O. I could say nothing to counter that, so I concentrated on chewing. What are you planning to do after school today? I don't know. Kiyosuke wanted to go to the movies, I think. Were you going to suggest something? She set aside her chopsticks and looked at me intently, like she was going to say something important. Maybe. She started laughing, trying to hide her embarrassment. Never mind, it's not important. Himitsu was in love with me. I had known this for a long time, but did nothing about it. Bruh! 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 Bruh, what kind of person am I? I'm just like, oh yeah, my friend likes me, has a crush on me. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, what the heck? That's so rude. Alrighties. Himitsu is in love with me, but it's... Himitsu? What do you mean, but it's Himitsu? What's wrong with her? Hey, Jacob, please, welcome. Oh, I know. I know this for a long time, but did nothing about it. At some point, I had grown so accustomed to it that I no longer knew if she loved me as a brother or as a man. Oh, I'm a boy! Well, let's just say I'm a girl this time, okay? So it's Yuri. This is pure Yuri! I'm a girl now. Let's go. To be perfectly honest, I didn't care one way or another. If you want to go somewhere, I can reschedule the movie. Himitsu means secret. Oh! Okay. It can do without me tonight. Her face gleamed with an earnest smile. Well, actually, I wanted to check out this one store near the station. It just had opened. The girls at the school won't stop talking about it. Someone else in my spot might have considered this a date. But I simply enjoyed spending time with Himitsu. You're not crying? Cry. Joke. Bruh. She, too, seemed content with this arrangement. You haven't finished your breakfast. Bruh. It's like people would think this is a date. I just like hanging out with her. I have absolutely no feelings for her. She's so stinking cute and I have no feelings for her? Okay. Okay. Nor did I plan to. I might yet have to eat grass for lunch as well. This grass for lunch as well. Why don't you ever make a borscht, whatever that is, or dumplings or something? Isn't breakfast, and besides, I've made it before. Himitsu took offense. Bruh, that main face. She had made it before, true, just not the same as I remembered from my childhood. I was not about to tell her that. It's one thing not to know how to do something. One can always learn. Is there an animation of Himitsu choking the MC? Kinda interested. Bruh, what do I even look like? Yes, it's Yuri, cause I'm a girl. It may say that I'm a boy, but I'm a girl, so it's considered Yuri. Alright? Anyways. It's quite another to both now and do, yet fail to meet expectations. So there's a girl that I spend a lot of time with. We're super close at the point that she calls me during the night, but we're totally not dating. And she has a crush on me, but I really don't care. I kind of forgot. But what? Like, how does that work? Okay. I can say you're a boy or man because you're PFP on YouTube Tug Life. What? Wait, what? Because I got glasses? Yes, I'm a boy. No! I'm a wolf girl. When that is the case, there's a good chance that one will never learn. You're right, sorry. Your bush is whatever that's called. Is very good. Yeah. I repeated. Himitsu was glaring at me. That's glaring? That's kind of nice. Anyone else in her place would have long since emptied this bowl of imaginary bullshit over onto my head. So, what's this store you were talking about? They sell clothes. She kept fixing me with a stare. Dresses, sweaters, skirts, clothing. Women's clothing. Do you think maybe you should go with one of your girlfriends then? I'm not saying no. It just might be a bit awkward. Why? I don't know, it's just the way things are here. You know how I'm not always great with the local customs? I was telling the truth. Anyone else would have long since gotten used to Japanese way of life, to Japanese traditions and cultural norms, or at least to the way of local high schoolers. No one's gonna think anything. It's not like we are... She's blushing, what do I do? Oh, I guess I'm a guy now. Holy shoot, she's blushing, what do I do? Himitsu is now completely flustered, which was making her upset. I couldn't tell if she was more upset with me or with herself. Sometimes when I talked to Himitsu, and not only her, I would hit a dead end. No, I no longer knew what was expected of me, while the other person couldn't understand why I didn't get it. The game is probably the MC witnessing Himitsu's Yuri with other girls. Choru. In the end, the entire meaning of the conversation would end up buried under an avalanche of misunderstanding, which snowballed with every new remark. Bruh, just kissed her. Just straight up go for it. At such times, it was better to agree or to remain silent. Alright, it's fine. No one's going to think anything. But why would they? Why would they? Exactly. You're blushing a bit, Himitsu. Triumphantly, and went to wash the dishes. Fox girl forced to become a man by a video game. If I get to date girls, I am fine with that. Nah. What? What does that even mean? Bro, what does that even mean? What was this kind of weather? Early in the fall. Called in Russia a grandma's summer? In Japan, at any rate, it was still very hot in the beginning of September. Interesting. Himitsu walked alongside me, smiling. I occasionally glanced over at her, trying to figure out what was on her mind. Not that I was particularly interested. More likely, I was just trying to distract myself from my own thoughts. Holy shoot! It's a train in the end! Whoa, I love the animated backgrounds. Holy shoot. The train works. The train is going. And then it rises. Is it gonna do it again? The background is very detailed. Holy shoot, I love it. And it happens again. Oh my god! Anyways, The image of the falling cherry petals kept surfacing in my mind, dragging up painful memories. The train is alive! As for Himitsu, she never broached the subject. She was keen to avoid reopening the wound, or she was just showing a tact? Hey, Earth to Nico-kun, do you copy? Huh? What? I had clearly been daydreaming. We're almost here and you're still sleeping. Himitsu scolded. As always, her displeasure looked more comical than intimidating. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The train does what it's supposed to do. Amazing. Honestly, yeah, the backgrounds are great. Oh my god, the train is doing what it's supposed to do. The gasp. Isn't the train crossing a bit too frequent? Train drag race. Yeah, it's kind of a bit too frequent, but it's what it is. It's going back and forth. Wait, do you realize that? It's just going back and forth. It goes left, and then it lifts up, and then after a moment it goes down, and it goes right, and then lifts open. Look, it goes the other way. I see. Himitsu smirked. Did I disconnect? Whoops. The rails are just a 1 km circuit in a singular lane. No! Wait, did I disconnect? Oh, come on. What I'm saying is that the train is going back and forth, and it's so funny. The train is literally going to the right, then going to the left, then going to the right, then going to the left. Way back. Okay, welcome back. Himitsu smirked. Are we going to school? Yo, we're going to school! What is this music for? What is this music for? Bro. Oh my god, my screen froze. Okay, it's back. Holy shoot, but this music. Holy moly. Train driver, okay, we're going now. Passenger, wait, I forgot something. Goes back. And then it's, okay, we're here. Wait, I forgot something. Goes back. Yo, school time! We would have probably kept chit-chatting like this if it weren't for a scuffle happening that moment at the school gate. Several people had surrounded a girl. From a distance, we couldn't see who it was. Look, said Himitsu quietly, slowing down. I started listening. What the heck is going on? Oh shoot, look at me! Wait, I can barely hear. Wait. Background animation, resolution. Why is the music louder than the sound and the ambience? Wait, sound. I heard like they're talking. There. The train driver is very considerate. Bro, the dono page is covering his face? You mean the MC face? Oh shoot, it is! Wait, there. Wait, let me help you. Let me help you with that. Shoot, why does it... Oh my god, sorry. My thing keeps freezing. There. It's my face! Lee, gasp! Okay. Anyways. Let me fix this. Thing is too quiet now. There, it should be better now. The real question is, why is the music so action movie sounding when we're in a school? I know, he has the MC vibe on him. I know, right? Tall and that short hair and literally has nothing else about him but that. She probably wears the same skirt all year. Oh my god, why is it so... I don't understand this game. There. I'm changing little things. There, now you can barely hear the talking. I don't understand this game. Anyways. Hey, Ray. How are we doing? She probably wears the same skirt all year. It must be a hand-down from her older sister. How does a bum like her even get admitted to our school? It's not a halfway house. Go work at the fish market. What the heck is this school? What's so amazing about the school? Careful now, you might catch something from her. The heck? It's not like I was going to, with... Oh my god! Ew, disgusting! You guys are weird. Thinking something as disgusting. I keep accidentally clicking the mute button. Bum, 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 bum. Poor thing. Himitsu paused for a second. Isn't she in your class? I looked more closely. She did look familiar. I think so. Are you saying you don't even know who your classmates are? Of course I do. That's Nika, Hita, Iwamura. I fixed my hair, looked triumphantly at Himitsu. She was not impressed. In fact, she's our class president. Himitsu was still looking at me reproachfully. Well, what? I've never spoke much with her, and anyway, we've only been together in the same class since the start of the school year. It's only been 6 months. Meanwhile, the scuffle, if one could call that, was picking up steam. The girl remained stubbornly silent, only dropping her head lower with every minute. This only encouraged the bullies further. Come on, who would pay money for someone like her? Oh, disgusting. Y'all schoolers are disgusting. She's the class president. Respect. Respect. Earning cash at night? You mean night shift? To be honest, I was thinking about doing night shift for a market or something. Because all you're gonna have to do is like stack things, right? There's not that much stress with it. You just have to restock things. Maybe I'll do one. And I'll stream like, I don't know. Naka, I meant. I don't know. I'm not good at this. Except maybe a couple hundred yen. The speaker made a show of opening his wallet, stuffed with bills, pulling out a handful and waving them in front of... Oh my god. To be honest, I take that money and run. And I tell the teachers, he gave it to me! That's really getting out of hand, I muttered under my breath. However, the other student walking past pretended not to notice anything. These traditions again. This isn't right. Nico-kun, don't. Let's just tell the teacher. Come on, we're MC! We gotta go in there and save her. That's real MC. That's real MC aura right here. Convenience store deja vu. What does that mean? Himitsu tugged lightly at my sleeve. And what is the teacher going to do? Scold them? My, aren't you ashamed of yourself? My, aren't you ashamed of yourself? No, they really aren't. I was starting to get worked up. If I had to think about it, what business of mine was it? A fellow classmate? You're the MC, you dumb! You're the MC! You gotta do it! I had exchanged more than a couple words with her before this day. You're the MC, just do it! On the other hand, it was hard to watch one poor girl getting hounded by an entire pack. That's what I'm saying. Intervene, dude! Let's go! Why should I stay on the sidelines? Let's go! What if this were Himitsu in her place? After all, we were also far from the richest kids at this school. Sorry. Himitsu only smiled slightly in response. Oh, I left Himitsu. Okay. I can see how this happens. Why is the girl the one being bullied when the guy had that kind of hairstyle? So true! That's such a dumb hairstyle. You don't know the horror game convenience store? Oh, that one! The one with the terrible face? Hey, I yelled and headed confidently in their direction. Leave her alone. At first, they just looked at me in surprise. Mura. I can't speak this. On the other hand, kept staring at the ground and did not react at all. And who would you be? Like, look at that hairstyle and look at that big forehead. These dudes look like they got wrinkles. Ow! I bit my lip. No, I didn't. I bit on a seed. I'm eating watermelon. When convenience store stream, never. And who would you be? The game, the faces were the scariest things in the game. What business of yours is it? Keep walking. The tone was challenging, but this only boosted my confidence. 4 against 1? Don't you think that's a bit unfair? You want some too, is that it? My hair is way fancier than yours! The 2 guys from the group stepped forward, cracking their knuckles for emphasis. It would seem that they could do more than talk trash. And what's the hero gonna do? I'm gonna flip my hair and be an MC up here! Every single MC gets all the girls, so don't you understand? One of them smirked. Yeah, what? To tell the truth, I didn't know either. They're high schoolers, right? Yeah, they're high schoolers. I've been compelled to stand up for Iwamura. I still can't say it. Is that how you say it? By some kind of inflamed sense of justice. No more. Because here, you weren't supposed to act this way. And there, you weren't supposed to help your neighbor. But really, life isn't a manga or an anime. In real life, I had no superpowers. What do you mean? You're an MC right now! Now the reason for this action BGM. You're about to find out. I went up really close to one of them, and froze. And now what? The guy staggered back, clearly rattled. Who do you think you are? The same instant, the second guy rushed up to me, clearly intending to shove me in the chest. My reflexes kicked in before I could think. Holy shoot! Let's go! I swung out my arm, boy! Crack came the sound of the assailant's jaw. The world around me seemed to freeze. Iwamura and the other girls, and even the guy whom I just punched, were all staring at me, seemingly transfixed with surprise. But this only lasted an instant. Do you have any idea who my father is? Oh, this again. One of the girls were shouting. Shh, they don't know they're anime. True, though. Don't yell, let's just go. He's some kind of psycho. The other girl was trying to calm her friend down. The second guy helped his splayed pail up from the ground. This isn't over. We'll remember you. With these words, they quickly headed away from the school. To be honest, what do parents can exactly do? How can parents exactly do if they have no correlation to you? To be honest, it's not what they can use their money some certain way, but unless they're connected to me, then there's no there's literally no reason for you to ever say, do you know who my father is? And I'm just I don't care, cause he has nothing in my life. He has no control in my life. Himitsu rushed over to me the same instant. Nico-kun, are you alright? Yes, of course. I replied calmly, while examining my slight swollen fist. Surprisingly, I wasn't shaking with adrenaline, as I had been expecting. Everything must have happened too suddenly. Ha, look at the other dude, he's hesitating. Oh, thank you. Senpai is a Japanese honorific used when addressing a... Is that S? Yeah, superior... Wait, no, that's not an S. Upperclassman or older, more experienced coworkers. Really? So the higher up is senpai? Wait a minute. I thought it was sensei. I'm confused. No one ever told me. Do you know? Yeah, she gave more than me. Do you know who my father is? And it's like, yeah, he's your father. No duh. You okay over there? Rack your brain or something? In all the commotion, I had forgotten all about the chef culprit of this kerfuffle. She stood silently, peering suddenly at us from under her brows. Are you alright? Fighting is prohibited in the school grounds. She said quietly. What? A foolish smile spread across my face. I looked over at Himitsu. She looked just as confused as I was. I'm saying that there was no call for getting into a fight. In case you haven't noticed, I was kind of defending you. They would have left in the end. Iwamura went silent for a second, then looked up at me. Her eyes flashed, but just as quickly her indifferent demeanor returned. They always leave. Regardless, you could at least say thank you. It's just common courtesy. I was even more upset now than a minute earlier. Senpai equals senior. Kohai equals junior. Oh, sensei is master and teacher. Oh, okay. Samurai, it means Japanese superior. Ah, I see. What? Okay. Well, I seem to have missed the whole fight scene. Great. Don't worry about it. It's not too epic. The music was epic, though. And not only here, but in the whole wide world. Iwamura merely raised her chin, snorted, and quickly made her way towards the school gate. That's just unreal. I told you not to get involved. Sorry, Himitsu, said quietly. But you did act like a real hero. Some hero, uh-huh. Where have you seen heroes like this? In movies? The hero gets thanked for the rescue. But you didn't do it for the sake of gratitude, did you? True. Himitsu kept smiling, which made me flustered. Well, see what sort of gratitude awaits me from the teachers. We'll see what sort of gratitude awaits me from the teachers. I grumbled. Come on, let's go. Ooh, I like this music. And this place is beautiful. The clock, I knew it! The clock is ticking! Look at that. I knew that there's some things. The clock is ticking. There's always gotta have an animated thing in the background. I love it. Another routine school day had now begun. I couldn't remember Russian school at all, even though I attended it for an entire 6 months. But for some reason, it seemed to me that schools were more or less the same everywhere in the world. As were people. Really, how many ways could there be to get stuff into a kid's noggin? If macaroni and poo could, independently of each other, invent the radio, why couldn't identical best practices emerge in education at the opposite ends of the earth? A shout from the teacher snapped me back out of these thoughts. Whatever school was like in Russia, the schools here were pretty strict. Hey Rin! Yes, another stream! And guess what, Rin? My best friend is in love with me. Okay. I don't know why I'm so happy about that. And I'm just ignoring it. He's almost like a visual novel protagonist. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments. There was a reason, after all, why this was one of the best schools in the countries. My class consisted largely of the children of the rich and famous, businessmen, politicans, showbiz stars. I can't speak! Sometimes I felt out of place here. LOL, what? I know, right? Isn't it so exciting? Okay, no, I'm sorry. But yeah, my friend, that I've known for a long time, and we hang out a lot, and I like hanging out with her, and she likes hanging out with me, and she has a crush on me. I know it, but I'm literally not doing anything about it. Like, what? I'm so confused. But then, even among this elite, there were people who were almost ordinary. Spinya. Welcome. Welcome to the stream, Among Us, bruh. One such person, Kyosuke, came up to me during the break. I had known Kyosuke, I think that's how I say their name, since middle school. Oh god, it's sus. The visual novel is sus. Bruh, calm down. He came across as a down-to-earth guy with none of attitude to the local privileged youth. Hey Nick, do you want to hear what's happening this morning? I looked around the classroom and spot one of the girls that had been harassing Iwamura. She gave me a mean look, but then quickly went back to what she was doing. Whatever. No, what happened? I asked, even though I knew perfectly well what Kyosuke was referring to. This morning at the school gate. Kyosuke lowered his voice. There was a brawl. And I was the one a part of it, Kyosuke. He has the otaku vibe on him. I guess so. Some word they chose. Couldn't have thought of a better one? I did more than just witness it. What are you saying? You mean I was the one? His eyes lit up, he leaned in towards me, and then continued at a rapid-fire rate. Are you that guy? The one who pushed Kurosake from the class B? Somehow I neglected to ask his name. I answered profoundly. Proudly, I meant? Kyosuke is kinda cute, though. Alright. And immediately winced. There was nothing to be proud of here. Now everyone is going to gossip about what dangerous bully I was, and no one was going to remember what I actually saved a poor girl from harassment. Don't think anything bad, I was just defending. My eyes were scouring the classroom in search of Iwamura. I was defending, but she wasn't there. Was I really looking to her for my proof of my heroic deed? For a confirmation that I was not merely a troublemaker? Well, anyways, I was defending a girl. A girl? Who? Kyosuke squinted. I don't know who she is. Anyways, what difference does it make? It was a natural reaction, you know? Anyone in my place. I looked up at Kyosuke. Any decent person. Oh, dude! Dude. Yeah, I was cheerleading too, not just witness it. I was like, woo! Bro! Dude. To be honest, if fights were allowed in schools, I would be the person that was like, 1, 2, 3, fight! I'd be the one leading it. That'd be so fun. Any decent person would have done the same. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Don't forget to introduce me to this mystery girl of yours. He seemed to want to add something, but at that moment, the school bell rang. He didn't need to know that girl was Iwamura. She had it pretty rough as it was. Then again, maybe part of the blame lay on her. Bruh, don't. The next lesson was contemporary Japanese. I had lived in Japan for 10 years and spoke the language fluently, of course, but writing still gave me grief at times. Promoting violence between kids sounds fun. I'd be dead already if fighting's allowed. True. When the break arrived, I rushed out of the classroom to avoid the continuation of the conversation about the morning incident. Kyosuke would be fairly pushy and persistent, but he did not entirely lack in tact, so I was probably being overly cautious. English was next. It came much more easily to me. I spent better part of lesson gazing out at the school ground where a soccer match was taking place. Soon my thoughts took me far from school, to the day when the cherry petals were falling. Fall was here, and that meant the trees would soon be shedding their foliage again. Foliage. The color palette might be different this time, but would my feelings remain the same? A couple more weeks, a month at most, and I would know. The bell recalled me to reality. My stomach started to grumble noisily. Have you not eaten breakfast today? Let's make a cafeteria run. You're always ready to chow down. Where there's a whole body, there's a whole mind. A whole lot of body, more like it. I, however, was really hungry. I didn't want to wait until lunch. Okay, let's go. The memory of Himitsu's healthy, balanced breakfast was still fresh in my mind. I wanted to eat something unhealthy, but delicious. Sadly, food poisoning was not on the menu. The cafeteria, like everything else at the school, was first rate. I couldn't tell you if the food here was on par with the fare served at the world's top restaurant, as I hadn't eaten there, but on the whole, I had no complaints. Besides, the menu has many European options. No borscht was among them, of course. Why does the MC think about trees so much? Do people get invested by trees? Yo! Hey, Name! Are you streaming all day? Nah. I did stream 2 or 3 times today. But not all day. I had stuff to do. We entered the cafeteria. Kiyosuke was blabbling about some new magical girl anime. I wouldn't have called myself a big anime fan, but I watch them sometimes too. Though, on a scale of enthusiasm, I was far from Kiyosuke as Tokyo was from Moscow. Suddenly, bam! Something had jabbed me in the side, but not too hard, but enough to be felt. On top of that, I was now covered in liquid. A girl holding a tray popped up from behind. What the heck? What the heck are you doing? You're gonna spill orange juice on my shirt. Is that orange juice? Yeah, that's orange juice! What the heck are you doing? I was dripping with orange juice while she gazed in bewilderment on the fruits of her labors. Hey, careful! I was more frustrated than angry. She did not react in any way. Instead, she just kept looking at me in surprise. Finally, she seemed to recover. New girl, let's go. Another girl to add on the list. Best girl right here, really. Really, best girl. The one who poured orange juice on me. Okay. It's you who should watch where you go. What? I was so taken aback, I smiled like an idiot, even retraced my step. Meanwhile, the girl scolded and glared at me. I said, watch where you go instead of sleepwalking. You were actually the one who bumped into me. And why would I bump into you? I was lost for an answer. The girl was talking nonsense, but she was doing so confidently that I couldn't help but question my own judgment. And why would I? How should I know? You're the one who bumped into me. This girl's logic is, are you okay? Alright, you convinced me. I won't do it again. I snapped back and was prepared to leave. Wait, she said quietly. You're, well, all wet. I looked at myself over. Not the prettiest of pictures, but to be sure. And what do you suggest? A joint trip to the shower? Me? I was not. How could you even think such? The surprise and confusion on her face gave place to what is this? She spilled her orange juice on my shoulder. What a waste. Now lick the juice. It's just like, oh, I'm wet, and then you just start licking yourself. Dude, what a way to introduce yourself to a girl. The surprise and confusion on her face gave place to indignation. Here was an insulted and humiliated victim, and I, the culprit, naturally. Okay, just forget it, everything's fine. Wait. Her tone kept changing faster than the weather in the tropics. She's a bit confusing, but she's got the spirit. So true. Here, take this. She handed me a handkerchief. I accepted without an argument and was about to thank her when she snorted and turned on her heels and left to join her girlfriends at the far end of the cafeteria. Bruh, she's either a tsundere or... What? What is she? She's a roller coaster. What the heck? She's just a full-on roller coaster. Also, the log thing doesn't work. What a strange girl. Nick, you started Kiyoshi when I sat down at our table. He was flaring his nostril and gasping like a fish out of water. Do you know who that was? No, who? That was Eli-sama. Sama is a Japanese honorific used when addressing someone with the most possible respect and reference. A proximate analog would be sir. Oh. Madame Ellie. Juicere. She's not a tsundere, she's a juicere. Bruh, it's Ellie. Ellie's in the game! Wait, is Ellie here? I don't think Ellie is here. Ellie! Wait. Bruh, Ellie's a tsundere? Oh, I see. Bruh, the juice dairy in the game. Truly something amazing. He looked probing at me as though expecting me to exclaim, "Oh, Ellie-sama, that very one?" Sama who? I inquired coolly. How could you not know? And you want people to believe you're a student here? I don't want that. That's what the papers say. If only you paid more attention to what goes around you. Alright, enough suspense already, just tell me. He was clearly chomping at the bit. Kiyosuke repositioned himself more comfortably on his chair, assumed a serious look, and began, Ellie, she's like the school queen. She has perfect grades, she's great at sports, she's won awards at national, no, not even, international level. Joe-sama. Not the interplanetary? What a relief. Bro, I'm just like, not the interplanetary? What a relief. At least she's not planet world renowned. I don't know. Anyone would consider it an honor to be acquainted with her. To ever spill a drink on you? Is that what you meant? Kiyosuke ignored me and carried on. I would give up my entire manga collection to have started up a conversation with me. Really? Your entire collection? Dude! Okay, that's a bit far. That's a bit far. Bro, she's not the juice at an international level. She's an international juice spiller. What the heck is this girl? To be honest, I really don't care. I'd rather have my manga collection than some international girl talk to me. Now, if she was pretty, I don't know about that. But still, entire manga collection? Dude! Unless it's only one book is your entire manga collection. Okay, half. I squinted. Fine, a third. Alright, I get it. I should expect the police to show up at my door now and await a sentence. Death by critical glares. Except, hold on a second. I'm completely innocent. You don't get it at all. Kiyosuke sighed. Then again, maybe you should expect the police. After all, her grandfather's the chairman of the school board of directors. And what am I supposed to do now? Keep apologizing to her? She's the one who bumped into me and spilled drink all over me. He sighed again and returned to eating. True. Very true. I would not mind if Skylar spilled... Bruh! I don't like orange juice, so I probably wouldn't even have it. I would probably have water. So, sorry if I spilled water on you. I slowly I turned and slowly looked at the direction of the school queen. Judging by the lively conversation and laughter coming from her table, Ellie had already forgotten all about the incident with my lower serf. Probably. I mean, it happens. The juice dried pretty quickly, leaving behind noticeable yellow stains on the white shirt. I didn't really care about my appearance, but the school has its standards, which didn't take kindly to such sloppiness, so I had to change into a jersey and a track jacket. Like my mom would say, don't call the police over spilled milk. Wouldn't wear a cotton-based clothes, so I would wear a cotton... Second. Bruh, Gordon, just have like such a cotton-based cloth that it looks like it's wool, and then when someone spills, it's like, oh, thanks, I was needing a drink, and then just like takes the shirt off, and then what the heck is this anime? After another uneventful lesson, it was time for the long break. And that meant it was time for lunch. Had I agreed to meet Himitsu for lunch? I can't remember. I could just go for a stroll around the school, seeing that I'd only eaten for an hour earlier. Okay. Here's the thing. Which girl do you want to go for? Because I think this is, 4 people. Like, there's 4 people that I can choose. And there's one other person that I haven't met yet. So there's Himitsu, which is my childhood friend. Ellie, which is the granddaughter of the board chairman. There is, which is, the person the representative of my class. Or Catherine, which is, holy shoot! I should have known that. I didn't need to know that. Anyways. Imagine sucking on your orange flavored sweatshirt during lunch break. Join thy waifu. Who should I join? Who should I join? So I join Himitsu for lunch? Or should I go for a stroll? Now here's the thing. If I was my own person, I would go on a stroll by myself because I really like doing that, to be honest. I'm gonna go for a stroll. One thing was certain, I could not stay in the classroom. Actually, I didn't want to listen to Kyosuke's empty chatter for another half an hour. More stories about anime, manga, and school gossip. Every day there were new stories, but they were always meaningless. Not that I didn't like Kyosuke, he was a good friend, but I doubted he could be much of an assistance when my mind was occupied with something altogether different than magical girls. I was going to have lunch with Himitsu, but I told Kyosuke otherwise. Stroll is superior to socializing. To me it is. I like taking strolls. The hallway and the schoolyard were all crowded with students. That's when it dawned to me, the roof. The roof was not the most popular spot at the school. Curious to know why. Ooh, is this a Yuri game too? Not exactly. I'm a guy. And I'm meeting girls. So it's a Yuri game because I'm technically not a guy, but in the game I am. So yeah, it's kind of Yuri. I quickly stopped by the snack bar to pick up some rolls and a bottle of milk. I'm just doing what, like, I want to do. I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just doing what I want to do. So this is what I would do. Just saying. If I was actually a person in this game, I would just take a stroll by myself instead of talk to girls. The door hinges which were badly in need of lubrication, screeched awfully as the powerful gust of wind welcomed me to the roof. So beautiful. I was forced to take a step back and grab the stair railing to steady myself. Then I found myself on the roof. The bright sun was blinding me, but at least there was no one here. Or was there? At the far end of the roof, A girl was sitting on a bench and eating a bento. A bento is a Japanese term for a single portion package meals, usually homemade lunch. Isn't that what a lunch bag is? But you're also a girl, so you're a no. I'm a guy in the game. I'm a girl in real life. So I'm like catfishing. Okay, no. Let's just say I'm a girl, but the game is saying otherwise. So imagination. Okay. It was Iwamura. Hello. She was gazing out into the distance toward the horizon, looking dreamy. I hesitated to approach her, remembering the morning incident. What was I going to say to her? The roof appeared too small for the both of us at the moment. On the other hand, I looked stupid just standing there. If I turned around now, she would think that I chickened out. What was there to be afraid of, anyways? I approached her slowly and stood nearby. Reluctantly, Iwamura granted me her attention. Apparently, she had been aware of my presence all along. So I'd done the right thing. Phew! I remember how she behaved in the morning after the tussle with the bullies. And after that, I was supposed to feel awkward in front of her. To feel guilty? Can I sit down here? Iwamura shrugged her shoulders and scooted over a little bit to one side of the bench. I sat down, opened the bag containing my simple lunch, and glanced furtively at Iwamura's bento. It just seemed as good as Himitsu's. I don't know, is it edible? But what is real life? She has short hair. Wait, you like her? Okay. I thought anime was real life. Indeed it is. Hello, Dubs. Due to Fortnite? What do you mean by that? Well, if Iwamura was really was poor, it stood to reason that she knew how to cook. You know, I still felt awkward around her, which was really bugging me. What? If I spoke my mind now, I was going to encounter the same reaction as earlier? I was wondering, why were those jerks after you this morning? Why do you care? How about because I took a direct part in the incident? Had the police been there, I would have gone into the books as an accomplice. They're always harassing me. What? Just because for no reason at all? You wouldn't understand. Maybe she was right. I'd never been bullied. I don't know the full story, obviously, but it seems to me that nothing happens without a reason. Everyone has their own reasons. Iwamura said cryptically, but there are laws. I don't know. It's not right. Laws. She pulled away from her bento, turns toward me, and looked severely. Laws exist for others, not for people like them. For people like you. Should I remind you that I was the one who saved you? Would sound inappropriate. I was the one who helped you. She said nothing back, resumed eating. You can at least have said thanks. Thanks, said Iwamura quietly. Now we're getting somewhere. She slammed her lunchbox closed and got up briskly from the bench. Thanks again. Enjoy your meal. What did I do? Hey guys, can you still wear lip gloss too? Bruh. Hey, alt 4 reasons. Welcome. Iwamura has like 2 lines, but she already much more interesting than the main heroine. I guess so. Right, see you later. I muttered to myself, quickly finished my lunch and left for class. Well, I'm pretty bad at this. Kiyosuke was already waiting for me there, grinning from ear to ear. So, how was lunch with Himitsu-chan? Fine. Where was he going with this? Oh, really? So that was some other Himitsu who came looking for you literally 5 minutes ago? Didn't you know she had a twin sister? Her name is Shinjitsu. Yeah, sure. I swear, Himitsu is the good one. Shinjitsu is the evil one. Or the other way around. You got very lucky, by the way, because her superpowers is sucking the souls out of fat, exclusively curious otakus. What the heck? Is hardcore dedicated fan, primarily used to be talking about the fan of Japanese anime or manga. She's a tsundere. Bruh, Gordon, calm down there. Whatever, man. Kiyosuke sounded offended and went back to his desk. The school day was coming to a close. Worn-out students had started counting off their minutes, but there was still one more class to go. Himitsuke stopped during the break to remind me that we had agreed to go shopping after school. Got it. I didn't clue in right away. The instructor was trying, unsuccessfully, to call the class to attention, but most students were ignoring him. True, many of the students at the school were genuinely invested in their education and keen to learn, but a good half were knuckleheads who sat through lessons only for the sake of the prestigious diploma. Why worry about such trivialities as grades or write-ups when your whole life was planned out for you decades in advance? Settle down, the teacher kept repeating. Regrettably, he could not yell at them. Alright, if you don't calm down, you're not going to find out what we... A new girl? Who is this new girl? Alright, if you don't come down, you're not going to find out that we have a new girl joining us today. Instantly, the classroom plunged into silence, broken only by a few whispers. Going shopping together after school, but totally not dating. A new student? In the middle of the year? Is she cute? I wonder. Is this a demo? It looks like a full game to me. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't particularly excited. I had grown accustomed to the constant hubbub, and I couldn't care less if the class gained another student since I didn't know the existing ones very well to begin with. Come in. A subdued murmur rippled through the classroom, but I felt too lazy to even lift my head. But then I felt a strong shove in the back. Hey. I turned around and looked at Kiyosuke. He sat there, mouth ajar. Goodness, what could this new person be if even the overindulged kids were reacting this way? I faced the blackboard. The class was a whirlwind of scarlet cherry petals. Does anyone really find this beautiful? But how? Why? The girl from my visions, the visitor from the past, was standing a mere 6 feet from me. Well, go ahead, introduce yourself. My name is Catherine Winters. Actually, I know a few people here already. She quickly surveyed the class without pausing for anyone in particular. I look forward to studying with you. She deliberately disordered a standard Japanese greeting. Catherine Winters. So official. She had already just been Katya. Katya? What the heck? Katya. She had always been just Katya to me. She was the one with whom I had watched the petals fall. It's a full demo. So, this is the one in my dreams. This is the one in the past. Is this my ex-girlfriend? Is this my last crush? When she moved away, she just left without giving a reason. She left me alone, breaking my heart and shattering my dreams. I should have been mad, should have hated her, but I couldn't. Gosh, how corny was that? How nauseating, hackneyed. It's the tree girl! It was as if I'd become trapped inside a second-rate shoujo manga. Is Japanese comic targeted primarily for a female audience? Now she just needs glittering sparkles around her face and some wispy clouds in the background. I waited for it. I would wait for it. It was nothing I wasn't used to. I rubbed my eyes and pitched myself hard. Nope, I was not dreaming. Hey Nick, why is she back? Do you know something? Why have you been saying anything? Kiyosuke was prattily and annoyingly behind my back. My world had contracted into a dark tunnel, with me at one end, immersed in total darkness, and her at the other, bathed in light. Except what was waiting for me at the other end was surely no paradise. Meanwhile, the teacher showed Catherine to her desk. She walked past me without much as a glance. I was at loss for words. Was I to jump in the middle of a lesson and scream? What are you doing here? My classmates, initially astonished, had faded away in the meantime. Many did, in fact, know Catherine because she had been a student at the school before. The rest probably just hadn't expected to see a foreigner. After all, there weren't that many of them even at our school. I doubt they consider me as a foreigner. That is, if they were aware of my existence at all. Why are they acting like this girl is the second coming of Jesus? Because she came back. She was at the school, and then they came back. But also, they usually don't get, uh, new students. So, I may, I may, I met Katya at the first year of high school. Somehow we ended up dating. She and I, rather incredible. Her mother had been working in Japan for quite some time, same as my parents. Time passed and everything seemed to be going well. Then one day, Katya told me we could no longer be together. Something about her mother getting transferred. I might have accepted this story. I might have forgiven and forgotten. But did it not pain her even a little? Was I her work colleague, whom she could simply wave goodbye to, as one did when transferring offices? Why? We could have an official farewell party. I would have stocked up for gifts. I'm sorry, goodbye now. Cold, hollow, everyday words. And after all that, she was just going to show up in my class? Nice to meet you. I look forward to studying with you. Seriously? Was there not another school in all of Tokyo? I couldn't believe it. But at the same time, somewhere deep inside me, a ember of hope remained. What if she came back because of me? And that's all the reason that she's here right now? Right. Hope springs eternal. I was watching the seconds go by slowly on the clock, talking to her. I had to talk to her. The bell at last. I worked up the courage, and she floated right past me, heading for the door. Had I been too slow, too indecisive? What difference did it make now? Hey Nick, are you asleep or what? Kyosuke's words seemed to come from somewhere afar, as if from another world. But what was I going to say to her? Hi, long time no see, how are things? Anyways, why hadn't she gone up to me first? Was she scared? Shy? Nonsense. That wasn't like Katya at all. Then she must not wanted to talk. I knew her too well. Kyosuke was shaking me frantically, muttering something, but I was ignoring him. Hiko-kun. A new voice. Hiko-kun. Himitsu. I lifted my eyes and looked somewhere past her. Earth to Nico-kun. Do you read me? I snapped back to reality. Yeah, what is it? You've forgotten again, have you? She was pouting comically. The cleanup people must hate her. True, she makes the room rain petals. Pretty pog. I knew you would. So I decided to fetch you. What did she want me? Fetch me? What for? Oh yes, we had made some kind of plans. But what did it matter now? Catherine had left, and she was moving further away from each passing second. Perhaps the distance between us now was far greater than all the miles of the Pacific Ocean. Them juices, though. Bruh, you want me to go after Ellie? Was it Ellie? Yeah, Ellie? You want me to go after her? I can try. I can try going after Ellie. I don't know. Bruh, I got a random ping from where? Where did I get a random ping from? That must be, like, at least 5 miles. What do you mean by that? Either she makes the room rain petals, or her maid's flame photo. Bruh. Ellie is the best. Really? So I should go after Ellie. I don't know. I don't know, man. Bro, I got a random ping and I don't know what to do with it. Well, it is what it is. Ellie is the best. I don't know who to choose from. So, I can choose Himitsu, Catherine, Ellie, or the fourth one. I don't know. Bruh. What am I supposed to do? Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna go and do whatever I'm gonna do. Ellie is like a 6 out of 10, like orange juice. Likes orange juice a bit too much. Bruh, what? But I had no idea what I was going to say to her. It has long been secretly hoping to get over her, to let go and move on with my life, and now this. Regardless, I had to make a decision. If I were going to run after her, I had to get going. I wouldn't go for it. I promised Himitsu that I would hang out with her. So I'd do it. Is the game definition of demo is the portion of all possible routes? I don't know. How much longer was I going to let this continue? A surgeon has to excise the rotten flesh to prevent diseases from spreading to the rest of the body. Since we were classmates now, I was bound to find out eventually why she had come back. Of course I remember. I said confidently, stood up, took Himitsu by the hand, and headed for the door. Wait, what about... I turned around and gave Kyotsu a glare so furious that he shut up immediately. Anger, resentment, longing, all these emotions had intermingled within me. I was walking down the hall, obviously oblivious to the world around me. I stopped only when we reached the lockers. I looked around the schoolyard. What if she was still here? Nico-kun. Himitsu ventured timidly. What? I snapped back, turned around, and realized I was still holding her hand. Sorry. I let go the hand. Did something happen? Don't say it didn't. I can see when something's wrong. Kyosuke looked agitated too. San is Japanese honorific. Used towards those higher in status, older, or esteemed by the speaker. Kyosuke? I snickered. The only thing likely to agitate him is some unrealistic shaped anime girl. The look on Himitsu's large eyes did not change. I meant that he was telling me about another anime again. You know, the one about magical girls. They show it at 6. You must have seen it. Why was I lying to her? Why was I lying now? I had to know I couldn't hide Catherine forever. Sooner or later, Himitsu was going to run into her at school. Or worse yet, Catherine would show up at her house. They did know each other after all. Anyway, it's nothing. Let's go to your store. Where did you say it was again? By the station? Himitsu wasn't going to interrogate me. It wasn't in her nature. Skolak, are you in the game? What do you mean, am I in the game? I'm literally the main character. Guess what? So the teacher asked Ray. There's Ray in this game. Ray-kun today. When did man first land on the moon? You know what he said? 2079. 2079. Wow. Can you believe it? Uh-huh. And then during PE, Himitsu carried on as though nothing had happened. Maybe nothing did. Where she was concerned. No, I meant Skolek herself as a route. Nope. From the outside, the store looked rather humdrum. Was it perhaps good pricing that drew the girls? By the standards of our school, Hitsumi's family was not terribly wealthy, but her father worked for the government, so they weren't poor either. We went inside. The train is back. Best part of the game. So true. Himitsu was trying on an outfit after another. How do you like it? It's fine. How about this one? I think this color will be in fashion this winter. It's fine. What do you think of this dress? A little discontent was starting to seep into her voice. I like the last one better. If only I knew what she had tried on before. I was in no mood for a fashion show. To me, Himitsu looked good in any outfit. Why does she even need all this stuff? Did she not have enough clothes? Really? Why? Really, why? I had known Himitsu for a long time, but I couldn't recall her ever being in a relationship. But she was no longer a child. She was a beautiful young woman. It was high time for her to get a boyfriend. Hold it. Was I feeling jealous? No, of course not. Whoa. Interesting. Anyway, if she had found somebody, I would have been the first to hear about it. I think the main thing is that you like it. But I like a, but like, but I like a lot of them. I like this and this. This one, not so much. Himitsu was shuffling the clothes. What had she done to deserve such treatment from me? Catherine is back, I said, trying to be casual. What? She seemed not to have grasped what I said. She showed him class today, right before the last lesson. I guess we're going to be classmates now. Really? Himitsu turned drastically gloomy and dropped the dress that she liked so much. I see you're not too happy. I'm happy, I just thought she moved away permanently. Well, that's what I thought too. And what she's planning to do now? What do you mean? I mean, Himitsu was hurriedly putting the clothes back onto the rack. She's been gone so long. You're seniors already. You know, I haven't made an inquiry into her life plans. I haven't even talked to her. What about you? Aren't you glad, Nico-kun? I pried gently. She pried gently. It's not so straightforward for me. But what's to be glad about? You know, well, what happened last year? Yeah. But that's all in the past now. We'll have to see what happens. I'm sure she has her reasons. At least I was no longer lying to Himitsu. Ah! I can't speak! Is the train an actual transportation or part of the amusement park? I don't know. Ray in the game? Noise. True, I didn't tell her everything that was in my heart. But what would that have achieved? In the end, this was between me and Catherine. Are you not going to buy anything? She paused to think. No, everything's very expensive here. I'm almost out of my allowance money for the month. But it's only the 7th, I exclaimed. Well, let me make you a present then. That white and yellow dress, it looked good on you. No, I didn't. Himitsu countered unexpectedly. I look fat in it. You look fat? I laughed out loud, drawing wary looks from the store clerks and other shoppers. See, this is why I didn't want to come, I whispered. Himitsu just smiled and said nothing back. Wow, I'd be complimenting her so much. We hardly talked on the way home. I felt awkward. Now would have been the great time to hear the stories about Rei-kun or Saya-chan, who couldn't hit a volleyball over the net. Wholesome. Don't feel bad because of Katya. I feel fine. Come on, I can see it, don't worry. I'll be alright, enough time has passed. The important thing is that you believe that. You believe that yourself. I know, I do believe it. It's just that it's all a bit unexpected. But you know how she comes. She comes uninvited, leaves without saying goodbye, always self-centered. I smiled involuntarily. Himitsu noticed and grew even sadder. Thankfully, we had neared the house. Well, I'll be off. See you tomorrow? See you. I wanted to say something else, but instead I merely watched as she walked through the gate. Can you go after Ray in the game too? Pfft. Now I want Himitsu route. Then go for it. I spent the rest of the day trying futilely not to think about Catherine. At this pace, I could really go crazy. Every 5 minutes the phone rang. I didn't pick up because I knew it was Kyosuke. Who else would be calling me? When it came to that crazy otaku, I was lucky he wasn't pounding at my door. In the end, I simply unplugged the phone. I tried to keep myself distracted with TV and video games, but this got boring quickly. I even did some homework for a change, played the bass for a bit. It fixed myself a simple dinner. Needless to say, I would rather eaten Himitsu's cooking, but she must have been busy. Not that Himitsu was under any obligation to make meals for me on a daily basis. I just got used to it. Now that I was thinking about it, I realized that habits had become an integral part of my life, to the point where they started to take center stage in it. Catherine's reappearance was threatening to throw everything on balance. It was as if I'd grown senile and flabby in the past year and a half, to the point where I craved stability above all. On the other hand, why did I need this upheaval in my life if nothing good was going to come out of it anyways? Suddenly the doorbell rang. It was probably Himitsu, but at this hour, I slowly made my way towards the door, but halfway through, a thought struck me. Why would Himitsu need to use the bell? Then it had to be Kyosuke, although it was definitely late for him. The evening routine for my well-fed friend was anime and to bed. but whatever. Let me guess, it's Catherine. However, there was nobody at the door at all. I looked around and walked outside, but the street was empty. Stupid pranksters. Yet someone has definitely been here, since there was a note at the doorstep which I discovered on my way back. Huh? The note read, Nikolai-san, be careful, you are in grave danger. Certain very powerful people linked to your father are after you. This is not a prank or a hoax. This game is now a horror. What the heck? But this is some nice music. Yeah, sure. I suppose next, I should have expected to find a busty magical girl in my living room, ready to perform my every command. What the heck? Kyosuke, I shouted. It's not funny. And why bring my dad into this? My parents. The incident. They fled the Soviet Union when I was 7. In Japan, they worked as regular engineers at Kobayashi Corporation. After they passed... Oh, what happened? What's happening back there? It's lights. Whoa. After they passed, I had seen the option of going back to the USSR to live with my relatives, but I ended up staying, seeing that I'd live in Japan for most of my life. My father's friends helped take care of legal formalities while his bank account kept me from starving. Kyosuke. I called out less confidently this time. The only reply I got was from a neighbor who barked something about it being nighttime and my yelling. Well, maybe it wasn't Kyosuke. But then who? If the note was a joke, its authors had failed to deliver the punchline. But what if there was a simpler explanation? What if it was for real? I twirled the note in my fingers. It was no ordinary piece of notebook paper, carefully clipped. Kobayashi Corporation? You mean Kobayashi's maid? Bruh. Dragon maid? Oh, anyways. The words were Japanese, written in a steady hand, although the spelling left something to be desired. Why write by hand at all, I wondered. Wouldn't it have been simpler to type? Or in a pinch to clip words from newspaper and assemble the note that way, like in those cheesy crime shows. At any rate, Kyosuke could be ruled out. I would have recognized his handwriting. You're in grave danger, linked to your father. What if it was those punks? Just because their parents were loaded didn't necessarily mean those brats had A's in Japanese. Or perhaps Ellie-sama's servants had decided to take revenge for the cafeteria incident. Whoa, busty magical girl? No, that was ridiculous. Who could, ultimately, want something with a simple Japanese student? And why now of all times? Right on the heels of Catherine's return, too. To be honest, I couldn't remember how good Catherine's Japanese grades were. I couldn't remember her handwriting either, but I knew she had spent considerably less time in Japan than I. Catherine had been a decent but not a straight-A student, and after a year and a half without practice. At any rate, she was the prime suspect now. It even occurred to ask what for. Her motives had stopped making sense to me long before this. Either way, I had tried to find some answers at school the next day. But now it was time for bed. I hadn't felt so worn out at the end of the day in a long time. Yes, gather those truth bullets. Bro! Get those truth bullets, boy! Oh my god. But sleep didn't want to come. I kept tossing and turning. I was getting mad at myself for it. Meanwhile, the clock ticked past midnight. I flinched and perked my ears. Perhaps I had matched in it. Not again. I hopped out of bed. I scanned the room for anything I can use for self-defense. The bast wouldn't do. I walked up to the door in stiff legs and asked in a shaky voice, "Who is it?" "Nico-kun." I breathed a sigh of relief and opened the door. Do you know what time it is? Sorry, but your phone was off. So? What was the reason to turn up here in dead of night? No, but I tried calling several times. I want to know if you're going to school tomorrow. You're so concerned about my attendance, you shouldn't wake me up in the middle of the night. I'm sorry. Suddenly I felt really bad. Himitsu was just being herself while I was taking my problems on her. Hey, cheese! Hello! She wasn't the one who had brought Catherine back or left a note. Not, it's me. I should be the one apologizing. It's been an awful day. I mean, it's been a tough day. Very filled. And I was already asleep. Trying to sleep at any rate. Okay, I'll be going then. Good night. I shut the door behind her and returned to bed. If today was tough, what would tomorrow be like? Probably tougher. Good luck! You are in a VN. Things happen. A 100 bells were chiming, announcing the morning. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. Yada yada. Hi. Hold on. This had already happened before. I jumped out of bed, staring at bewilderment at Hitsumi, and blurted out, "What's the day today?" "Tuesday." She replied, frightened. "What's wrong?" "Tuesday, huh? Alright, let it be Tuesday." I scanned the room meticulously. The open notebook I tried doing my homework in night before was still at the same spot. This meant everything was fine. It occurred to me that the new day has arrived. What do you mean? Well, like, when you wake up and today is still yesterday, as in some, like, sci-fi novel, you read too many of them. Himitsu laughed. For a second, I thought, Also, it's pronounced bass for the instrument. Confusing. Yeah, I know. I think my friend that is a bass player would probably hit me in the head and call me stupid. Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, things did seem to be running their normal course. Except I now became aware of a particular smell. I sniffed in the air. Is that? Yes, it is. I prepared it ahead of time. A big pot of borscht sat on the stove. Good lord, but why? Didn't you ask for it yesterday? No, I didn't. I just mentioned it in the passing. It was a joke. Well, you know what? She said menacingly. You're gonna have to eat this joke now. A soup for breakfast. Now that's certainly unorthodox. Himitsu has outdone herself this time. Suppose yesterday I'd let drop something about foie gras, and would they be awaiting me now too? In any case, the borscht tasted quite good. I didn't say anything the first time. Hehe. Sorry. Granted, it wasn't exactly a traditional recipe. Well, Himitsu was sitting across from me, looking at me intently. Why aren't you eating? I'm waiting to hear what you think. Oh yeah, sorry, it's delicious. Really? She didn't believe me. Yes, really. Why should it be otherwise? Himitsu tried the borscht. Okay, it is good. Now, don't you dare complain about my cooking again. When did I ever complain? You just don't get my humor. I do get it. Just some lighthearted banter, it seems, but Himitsu. I can't say her name because I keep messing up the T and the M. Himitsu did not look her usual self. Every so often, a shadow of sadness passed over her face. Did something happen? No. What about you? What about me? At that moment, the events of the previous day flashed before my eyes. The surprise awakening and the borscht had temporarily made me forget about Catherine and the note. Everything's fine, just a bit unexpected. Don't worry, I'll be alright. Why don't you say Himi-chan? Humor. Humor. Good, if you say so. She smiled. Let's go, or we'll be late for school. You good there, name? We exchange a little. Oh my god, I can't speak. It's humor. Yeah, it's humor. You mean humor? Humor. I don't really care. It's Homer. We exchanged only a few words along the way. Somehow, we just couldn't find a suitable subject for the conversation. I didn't want to tell Hitsumi about the note just yet. She probably hadn't had anything happen to her overnight that was worth sharing. Sure, I could have talked about some random stuff, but that wasn't my thing. Finally, we reached the school. No incidents today, I hope. I snickered. Alright, I'll see you. Don't sleep in class. Himi-chan. I'm just gonna say Himitsu. No, not Himitsu. Himitsu! Ah! I can't speak! Himitsu smiled and headed for her classroom. Okay, now, I had to think of a way to snag Catherine's notebook without anyone noticing. I hope she'd written something in it, preferably in Japanese. I was walking down the hallway, lost in thought, when someone called my name. What is this music? This music, though. Himichu. I'm just gonna call her that. Himichu. Ano-kun. Hold it there. The school principal, what was his name? Yes? Kiyami-sensei? What is it? Follow me to my office, please. But the class is about to start. I posted it as I thought these kind of conversations were something new to me. It won't take long. A weary old man in his 70s, or perhaps even older, Kiyama-sensei was always cloyingly polite and cold. Oh, it's Kiss! Oh, whoops. So, hi, Skalek. Hey, Jetski Jackie. Jackie. Jetski Jackie. I'll try to say that slower next time so I can say it better. On top of that, he dressed and carried himself in a strictly European manner. I had always been astounded at those Japanese who exhibited such obscure devotion to Western culture and way of life. I could think of any number of sayings on the subject, along the lines of, "To thine own self be true." Although here, this had become something of a traditional in its own right. This was, after all, an elite school. So what's the issue exactly? Please come. Well, naturally, he wasn't going to reprimand me in the middle of the hallway in the view of the whole school, was he? Huh? The heck? What did I do here? She spilled orange juice on me! What am I supposed to do? ADTR 210, welcome. Skit, what? We went to his office, but someone was already there. Huh? Well, if it isn't Ojo-sama herself. Standing next to the principal's desk was in fact Ellie-sama. Ah, the boar from yesterday. She seemed equally surprised to see me here. Yesterday's cafeteria incident came back to me in a vivid detail. The madame did give me a handkerchief in the end, to wipe myself. And I tossed it to the dirty laundry at the house. Oops, I need to return it. Let me guess, you're a frequent visitor here? She asked sarcastically. Well, I certainly didn't expect find myself groveling at your Grace's feet today. That will be all, Kobayashi-san. Kobayashi. That last name sounded familiar. Huh? My parents? Kobayashi. Ellie politely took her leave of the principal and walked past me, angrily flashing her eyes. Ellie knows something about my parents? So, do you know why you're here? I've got a couple theories. The principal sighed and gave me a sad look from behind his glasses. I understand that the Japanese culture is alien to you, but here at this school we have students of every nationality. We endeavor to provide all of them with the best opportunities. In return, we expect the appropriate respect and adherence to the school rules. Here we go. I think you ought to understand this, especially considering your situation. What about my situation? Let's not make this personal now. No, what I meant. Embarrassed, he removed his glasses and began wiping them slowly with a special cloth. I wanted to say that we make no distinction between our students. The rules are the same for everyone. Understand? In that case, you must understand that you cannot just skip class for no reason. He put his glasses back on and looked hard at me. And speaking of your attendance record, I understand. But if you understand, why do you keep skipping class? Do you know who our school sponsor is? I shrugged. Kobayashi Corporation. The name doesn't mean something to you, does it not? The company's president himself is the chairman of our school board of trustees, the century-old tradition. At that point, I tuned him out. Kobayashi's Corporation and Kobayashi Ellie. Things were adding up. Interesting. I wondered, would she still be the school queen if she had been born in an ordinary family? A family like Iwamura's, for instance. What's that smirk for? Did I say something funny? I'm very sorry. Kiyama-sensei, this will not happen again. I bowed to the ground. Alright, that's enough. The old man apparently hadn't been expecting this degree of repentance from me. I have seen the error of my ways, and I promise this will never happen again. Bro, you didn't drink the juice? Yeah, I didn't. I threw it into the washing machine. Well, that's the most important thing. The fact that you understand, and to avoid the repetition. Alright, go now, or you'll be late for class. Thank you very much. I'm going now. I formally took my leave and marched out of his office. So, why didn't you tell me that this Eli-sama of yours is a Kobayashi? There was still a couple minutes left before the beginning of the lesson. I did tell you. No, you didn't. You said her grandfather was the chairman of the board of trustees, as if I'm supposed to know who the chairman is. That's the problem, that you never know anything. Anyways, why do you ask? I got called into the principal's office just now. For skipping class? For what else? At that moment, the bell rang. Only now did I remember about Catherine. Catherine? Catherine? I can't speak. She sat behind me, so I couldn't watch her continuously. Was she writing anything down? How was I going to grab her notebook unnoticed anyway? Surprisingly, I was hardly at all anxious. Sleep had clarified my thinking, such that I found the whole situation more intriguing than troubling. The closing bell had finally rang. Catherine got up and left the class. Catherine! Okay, Catherine. This was my chance. I slowly approached her desk, trying to look as inconspicuous as I can't talk. I glanced around. My classmates were all minding their own business. I leaned down and opened the notebook, flipped through the pages. No, the handwriting was completely different. But how? Why? Sure, I had some issues with Japanese character, but this was obvious. Catherine did not write yesterday's note. Ano Kahin-kun. I stood at attention. Caught, exposed, disgraced. Go to the teacher's room with Iwamura-san and bring the printouts for the next lesson. That was close. I looked at Iwamura. She stood staring indifferently out the window. Right now, I wanted only one thing. Get out of the classroom as quickly as possible. Hi. Well, shall we get going? I can go alone. She didn't even look at my direction. But we were told to go together. I'll manage by myself. Iwamura. Under different circumstances, I would gladly agree with her. Listen, I understand and all, but I've already been to the principal's office today. I'm not burning with desire to go back. As you wish. Iwamura shrugged and headed towards the door. The hallways were unexpectedly deserted. It was as if the students were hiding out in anticipation or something. Iwamura walked in silence. After I had defended her a day early, this is how she was acting. The awkward silence desperately demanded a conversation to break it. So, do you have to walk like this often? Bro, I look pretty cool, not gonna lie. Drink the juice. It's the nectar of the gods. Orange juice. Seriously? I couldn't think of anything better to say. She raised her eyebrows and looked at me in surprise. That was a first. So, I did achieve a desired effect after all. Well, of course, I am the class president. Oh yeah, right, sorry. Silence again. It's just that we've never really talked. I don't even know your first name. Why do you need to? It's only natural. Here, I'm Nikolai. This visibly embarrassed... Oh, she's embarrassed. This visibly embarrassed Iwamura, who seemed to be hesitating with the answer. In Japanese culture, addressing someone by their first name is a sign of familiarity. This was especially true in our case. But I didn't hold fast to all these conventions. Kagome, she said quietly. What? Really? A loud burst of laughter escaped my lips, spooking several passing girls who steered a wide berth around us. What's so funny? Kagome frowned. Nothing, it's just, well, you know, it's a weird name. It's a children's game, and a song from it. It's the reason Nikolai is surprised about his classmates' Strange name. She's definitely a tsundere. Bruh, what? No weirder than yours. Why, what's wrong with my name? It's a normal name. Nikolai, Nicholas, if you prefer, or Nick. You're all the same. She was starting to get worked up, it seems. Who's we? The gaijin? No, the local morons. How rude. Kagomi snorted and turned away. Oh, she's cute. Listen, do you have a problem with me? I think it's you who has a problem. Oh, really? And what is it? I'm curious. Who's the new foreigner? I opened my mouth in surprise. Why would she be asking about that? Why? You've been staring at her non-stop for the last 2 days. Have you been spying on me? I'd have to be a blind not to notice. She responded, unfazed. That's really none of your business. Of course, it's not. Kagome smirked. But neither is my life any of your business, so why are you prying? She had a point. Says she knows someone you know before. Say you used to see each other. Say you don't know. Someone that I know before. We knew each other at one point. We were in the same class. I'd say you take an unhealthy interest in your old acquaintances. Why did you have to bring her up anyways? It's not every day that we have a new student in our class. Such a striking foreigner at that. I'm a foreigner too, you know. She looked at me up and down and snickered and said, yeah, sure. I knew it. Wrong features for Japanese. But now I was denied the title of a proper gaijin as well. Are you always like this? I was starting to lose my temper. We've arrived. We're here. Hey. Just in time, too, before I can open my mouth. Kagome went to the teacher's room, but before I knew it, she was back with a large pile of papers. Carry it. What? All of it? I couldn't see any way to carry the heap comfortably. What if we carry half? Didn't you yourself volunteer to come along? No, I didn't. The teacher sent me, if you recall. Okay, give it to me. Carrie attempted to take all the papers from me at once. Oh no, that won't do either. Which of us look more pathetic now? Spurred by the wounded pride, I walked fast, so the return trip took considerably less time. Kiyomi? Who? Oh. I probably accidentally said that. I'm trying my best, okay? I dropped the mountain of papers onto the teacher's table with a thud, while Kagome took her seat and returned to her customary window gazing. I guess no one deserved to be bullied, but man, I could almost understand those punks from yesterday. Judging by the clock, the bell was less than a minute away. Catherine's desk was empty. I turned to Michael, who sat next to her. Did Catherine, the new girl, did she go somewhere? Don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. Why? Never mind, no reason. Bummed, I sat down at my desk. Could she have somehow noticed that I've opened her notebook? No way. Catherine wasn't even in the classroom at the time. Did someone tell her? How long ago did she leave? I'm telling you, I don't know. Are you talking about the new girl? I think she went to see the principal. A classmate had overheard our conversation. Thanks. The chair beneath me felt like it was on fire. That's how badly I wanted to run after her. But to what end? What was I going to tell her? The bell sounded. My feet seemed to acquire a new will of their own. They carried me to the door, then past the teacher, then out to the hallway. I can't talk today. Hey, Kataro! Welcome. I've just been talking so much today. I turned the corner at a run and stopped. What the heck was I doing? Why all this? The school had gone silent, froze still, as though in all of the inescapable might of pure knowledge. I was slowly tiptoeing through the empty halls towards the principal's office. If I were to run into one of the teachers right now, I would have to explain myself all over again. On the other hand, it would be no better if I showed up at his office myself. Speaking of which, here it was. I pressed an ear to the door, but no sound was coming from the other side. Either they were playing a silent game, or Catherine was not here. So what's next? Am I too late to go back to class? I wandered the empty halls, and I didn't notice how I ended up in the old wing. Our school has been repeatedly rebuilt since it first opened doors right after the war, with new buildings added on and then old ones fell into decay. Inefficiently, if you ask me. Inefficient, if you ask me. Why not tear down the old structure first and build a new one in its place? Theoretically, there shouldn't have been anyone in this wing. Suddenly I heard music. Is this the start? Well, what's this? Wait, now that I'm thinking about it, you know they say love, money, rock and roll. What band is this? I've never heard of this band. Aren't wolves a natural predator to hamsters? Not in this world. Theoretically, there shouldn't have been anyone in this wing, but suddenly I heard music, a guitar. The sound was coming from what judging by the plague, I don't know, was the old music classroom. I opened the door a crack. It's Ellie. Oh my god! What? She plays the guitar! Holy shoot! Okay, I might be going Ellie route. Holy shoot! What do the others play? Best girl, let's go. So, you know how it's called Love, Money, Rock and Roll. So they all probably like play or something. They all probably play something. What do they all play? I know I play the bass. Ellie plays the guitar. I told you, best girl. Ha! None other than Ellie Kobayashi. Of all people, she was the last one I expect to find here. She was doing a fine job playing, though. The tune was nice. The execution was equally good. Music, at least, was one area that I knew a thing or two about. Ellie herself seemed to be glowing with happiness. Looked nothing like a prime princess whom I encountered in the principal's office that morning. Cool, though. This lyrical discretion was... I certainly could not let a chance like this to slip by. Well, well, well. Who do we have here? The guitar went abruptly mute. My applause was the only sound interrupting that silence that had descended to this place. Oh, Joe-sama, I did not know you play guitar too. Many emotion fitted across her face. Embarrassment, surprise, annoyance, resentment. You! Please, pay no attention to me. Carry on. What are you doing here? I followed a beautiful sirens of songs. I could never imagine it would be you, Ojo-sama. Enough! Ellie blurted out, stood up abruptly, and froze, as if not knowing what to do next. Hey, come on, don't take offense. I just didn't realize you play guitar. Somehow, I don't associate you with this instrument. Now, a violin, maybe. I can play violin, too. She cut in. Really? Well, that's cool. And why aren't you in class? It's no mystery why I'm skipping. What about yourself? I'm not skipping. We have a break. Alright. I smirked. You don't have to justify yourself to me. I'm not justifying yourself. You, on the other hand, should watch your behavior. What were you doing in the principal's office this morning? I came for a cup of tea. In any case, it's none of your business. I wasn't trying to be rude. That's exactly how it came out. Actually, it is my business, seeing as my grandfather. I'm aware. She gave me a surprised look. What, is it a secret? No, of course not. Even if you are. Suddenly, we heard voices in the hallway. Hide, Ellie whispered obnoxiously. Why? Is it break for you? I'm used to it. I said sardonically, a bit in a lower voice. She didn't answer, but was looking at me pleadingly. She must have had her reasons. Okay, Ellie, I'll follow you. Very well, except I don't see where we could hide here. In here. Ellie grabbed my hand and dragged me to a small door, oh god, it's this situation. Dude, it's this situation. Himitsu plays the kitchen. Holy shoot, she does. She just plays the stinking kitchen like I don't even know. Well, who do you? Ellie just like, what are you doing here? Spills orange juice on me. Bruh. The door opened into a cramped utility closet. I knew it. Holy shoot, I knew it. What, just like this? I hesitated. The closet was definitely not roomy enough for two people. Get in already! However, she clearly thought otherwise because the next thing I knew, she literally shoved me inside before stepping in herself. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god, it's this. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. This has never happened to me in my life. Been in a locker with another girl as cute as this. Well, anyone in a locker. Well, I gotta go. I have work. Alright, bye, name. Take care. We're packed like sardines. Oh god. And this place is reeked. Yep, perceptibly. Above the stench of dampness, moldiness, and dust was a sweet aroma of Ellie's perfume. A killer combination, to say at least. The classroom door opened and several people entered. I think I heard something. You must have misheard, Kiyama-sensei. The principal was talking to one of the teachers. I'm not hearing things. I may be getting on in years, but I'm still more capable. Heavens no, Kiyama-sensei. I didn't mean anything of the sort. Anyhow, this ramshackle place would have been torn down long ago. A third voice joined into the conversation. This ramshack place, as you call it. The principal let out a sigh, so loud I could hear it clearly from the closet. I remember arriving here as a young teacher, right after the war, traded in my rifle for a pointer, you could say, taking the place of ammunition. Who would have guessed that our principal was so sentimental? I shifted my gaze over towards Ellie. She turned red like a boiled lobster, her breathing became rapid and irregular. Oh my god. Don't look at her then! Oh my god, stop looking at her! You're gonna make her uncomfortable! In an awkward situation, to be sure. Just because she played the guitar didn't necessarily mean she has a lot of experience in the area of, well, you know. In the experience of what? What are you talking about? But who was I to judge? Yes, I'd gone out with Catherine, but I'd gotten somewhat used to her, whereas here I was a completely different girl standing next to me. By next, I mean right up against me. Oh my god. My heart started beating faster. I gulped loudly. Ellie gave me a frightened look. I made a face that was supposed to mean quiet. She seemed to have understand. Meanwhile, the principal continued his oration. And after all that, you talk of, this is our culture heritage. It should be made into a museum. Certainly, Kiyama-sensei. But let's go now. We have a meeting coming up. Yes, forgive me. I got a bit carried away. The moment the door closed behind her, Ellie came flying out of the closet. I stepped out after her. I had to say something. It was a bit... Nikolai, what the heck? Oh my god, shut up! I'm so rude! It was a bit tight in there. She looked at me, dumbfounded. Tight? Tight? You Oh god, whoa, Ellie, calm down! You were the one that spilled orange juice on me. I did nothing of the sorts. You were the one that shoved me into a locker. I literally came here just to listen to some guitar. Experience on lockers, definitely that. I didn't touch you at all. You groped me with your eyes? That's a thing? Wait, are you serious? Is that a thing? No, it's so not. You don't know you don't think I could see it? Feel it? Calm down already, will you? How can you grope someone with your eyes? And anyways, it was your idea to hide in there. Yes, but, well, that's all there is to it. Ellie looked sad now. She lowered her gaze. I suppose it's unbenefiting a young lady to behave like this, is it? Oh. I bet she tried to suck all of those leftover spilled orange juice. She's that into orange juice? What the heck, Gordon? Also, she's blushing. And looked to the side. It was kind of interesting. She smiled sadly. Well, I'm not the best person to give advice on these matters, but for what it's worth, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing a guitar. You must enjoy music a lot, huh? Yes. This time, her smile was more genuine. Then I don't see a problem. Just then, a distant bell announced it was break time. Alright, I've gotta go. See you. Her final parting smile was utterly disarming. I was left standing alone inside an empty music classroom of an empty old wing. What a strange girl. This whole musical interlude made me forget entirely the reason I had wound up here in the first place. I've been looking for Catherine. I had absolutely no desire to go back to class where I could expect another scolding. Simply skipping was bad enough, but to have run out of the classroom right in front of the teacher? No, thank you. No, thank you. I managed to slip out of the building unnoticed, and here I was, free as wind, strolling down the sidewalk in one of Tokyo's central districts. Just as I wanted to chill out. I just wanted to chill out. This whole day just been a waste. The only thing I achieved was determining that Catherine has not written yesterday's note. The note. Unpleasant thoughts crept into my head. But if she didn't write it, who did? What if it wasn't a prank? Just what was going on? More had happened to me the past day and a half than over the course of a preceding year and a half. The entire time, I hadn't really socialized with everyone. Maybe me too. Me too. Well, add to that Kiyosuke, and occasionally Michael. Now Catherine is back, and there was Kagome and Ellie. What next? Was I going to turn into a magical girl? As if by chance, I ended up near a familiar bar. A couple rounds of beer were an absolute must right now. I'd relax and clear my head. Whoa! Underage drinking? Holy shoot, no. Oh, no. Here I am. Underage drinker. Unless I stayed back a few years in high school. The inside wasn't crowded, which made sense for this time of day. People were supposed to be either at work or at school. Like in that joke about the 33-story building and the hurricane. Even though I wasn't a stranger here, I always had a fake passport on the ready. A classmate whose father worked in law enforcement had hooked me up at one point. There was lots of students at our school who had these passes to their adult life. How would you prove it wasn't real? A document was a document, especially when someone insolently snot was shoving it in your face. Not to mention the bar owner was Russian. Chuckling, he usually told people he used to be a pirate who got shipwrecked off the coast of Japan. That was a tall tale, of course. Most likely he was just a regular immigrant like my parents. I sat down the counter, ordered a beer. Hey, Kolya, what's up? You're early today. Yeah, it's just the way it worked out. I guess I'm a regular. Holy shoot. Fan moves, though? Holy shoot, the fan moves. Whoa! I bet she tried... Oh, God. I just reread that. You aren't going to get into trouble at school, are you? You know how strict they are about these things here. I giggled nervously. Okay, I see. It's none of my business. A good bartender is invariably a good psychologist. It's almost a qualification for the job. To be honest, that's kind of true. They gotta deal with, like, so many people in their, like, life. So, they're just like a psychologist. Beer at this place was served in pint-sized mugs, which made me very happy. Squealing with pleasure after downing a tiny glass in one gulp, it was not my thing. Yuck. I took a large draught. Catherine's back. The bartender raised his eyebrows and asked with unending surprise, "And what are you gonna do now?" At times, I wonder if showing empathy to customers were something more than just a professional skill for him. What can I do? She hasn't been overeager to talk, and neither have I. At any rate, I'm certainly not going to throw myself at her. And why has she come back? She says because her mother's work. I suppose this is the case. She wouldn't come back by herself, would she? Most likely not. So, I'm in this weird spot now. You know how they say, life is like a zebra, a black stripe followed by a white stripe, then a black one, then a white one again. Yep, and then the... What the heck? We both laughed. You know what? Kolya? Kolya? Is that my name now? Don't get down, he said encouragingly. You still have your whole life ahead of you. The two of you will make up hundreds of times before the end. If not, you'll find yourself another girl. Look how many of them are around. The bartender spreads out his arm, inviting impressive looks from a few schoolgirls nestled at a table at the furthest corner of the room. What the heck? Thanks for the comforting words. There's so much else behind that anyways. Life is in full swing. And each swing hits you in the head. Geez, he keeps that glossy saying under that counter. The bar door flew open. A group of young people entered. Having immediately recognized among them the punks from the day before, I instinctively buried my face in the mug. Was I scared? It seemed so. So it seems. They sat down at the table, ordered beer and cocktails for the girls. You know them? The bartender asked quietly, leaning in towards me. I wouldn't say I know them, but we've met. I gave the occasional sidelong glance. I wondered if I should get up and leave. Would that look cowardly, though? Then again, too, they hadn't even noticed me. No sooner did I think that the... Wait, what? No sooner did I think that than one of the guys got up and walked over to the counter. Hey, I know you. If you say so. I said calmly as possible without even sparing him a glance. I think you don't know who you're dealing with, Gaijin. I'm not dealing with anyone. So it wasn't you who punched my friend in the face again? If it was me, he had deserved it. Really? So how about we step outside for a little chat? I look at the bartender, but he only shrugged. Some empathy. Alright, let's step out. What else could I do? Mondo. Half a minute later, we're standing in an alley behind the bar. A couple older guys join the school kids. Where did they even come from? Not so tough now, are ya? Said the one I punched yesterday. That'll teach him to stand up for bruh. I looked at the girl. Compared to her, Kagome was Mother Teresa. What? Well, what next? Gonna beat me, are ya? 4 against 1? That commands some respect. What's gonna happen to the code of honor? The Yakuza have one. I sneer at the largest guy among them. You there, you definitely got a mugshot for a thug. The older ruffians clenched their teeth, their expressions changing. What did you say? Let's get it over with already. A thought flashed through my mind. What if I struck first? That way, at least I wouldn't retain a smidget of self-respect. But I had no time to decide. A strong blow in my back threw me to the ground. That was low. The blows hit hard, but they did not go on for long. I curled up into a ball, covering my head with my arms. It hurt. By the time I recovered my senses, those bastards had vanished without a trace. I got up slowly and felt myself all over. Nothing was broken, it seemed. My face was mostly intact as well, except for the black eye. I returned to the bar and sat down in the same seat. I no longer feeling like carrying a cordial conversation with the bartender. Although, what could it be done? Stand at my side and fight? Call the police? Nonsense. Hey, there's... He pointed off to the side with his eyes. I turned my head, seeing just a few feet from me was... Catherine. What? Wait. Hey, there's... Whoa. I didn't even notice. I just like full on, okay. Well, hi, I guess. I said a little while later after waiting for her to open the conversation. Fat chance of that happening. Hi. Catherine replied indifferently. I shaved a closer seat while she ordered a cocktail for herself. Whoa, Catherine looks kinda cool though. She used to be my past girlfriend? Holy shoot. Hey, the Golden Trap, welcome. What's with the face? Nothing serious. She wasn't buying it. I fell. Face first into concrete several times in a row. Yep, got lucky this time. But next time victory will be mine. Is that so? Said Catherine apathetically. So, are you also missing school? I had to start conversation in the most neutral way possible. Also? She looked at me askance. Well, it's nothing new to me. I guess it isn't. I heard you went to the principal's. Maybe I did, what of it? The tone of her voice didn't change, but her eyes flashed. Katya, I don't want to start everything up again. I don't. I'm not. Or was I? Just put yourself in my shoes. How would you be reacting? Wouldn't you be asking the same questions? What questions? Fine, I understand you're here because of your mother's work, but this particular school, why? What? Am I getting in your way? Catherine was sipping her cocktail with expression of absolute indifference. No, of course not. It's just... When I think about how we parted back then, it's all in the past. You don't really think that I should have chosen a... You don't really think that I should have chosen a different school or changed my life in any way just because of you, do you? Why would I do that? Simply to avoid running into you an extra time? That's not what I was thinking. She was right, actually. I had no comeback. But she was right only if she didn't feel anything towards me right now. Everything pointed towards this being the case. But I just couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe that she could be so cruel. So, everything's alright? Of course. Then we can remain friends? A barely perceptible smirk appeared in Catherine's face. Do you want us to? Why not? The past is the past. We have to move on, go on living. You sound like someone with PTSD. That's when I started getting worked up. It's all in the past for me as well, if that's what you mean. Is it? Good. Great. I turned away, pretending to study the menu. Was I ought to get up and leave? That would be it. I'd have to forget all about her, for certain. Was I really hoping for something? Each time, Catherine hurt me more and more, but like a mindless gnat, I keep slamming against the glass, as if trying to prove something to someone. In the course of the year and a half, I'd become so accustomed to living with memories of her that now, when she was so close, I simply couldn't let go of her. These memories seemed like my only hope, the only thing holding me back from doing something foolish and fatal. Alright, see ya, Golden Trap! She looks like Sayaka. Bruh, come on. She's different. Was I thinking about something specific? Unlikely. But I was hoping, naturally. I see, you're not wasting any time. Catherine gave me a surprised look. Nothing was worse than indifference. Better if she got mad at me. I snatched the cocktail out of her hands and said snidely, "Getting an early start, are we?" As I raised the glass to my mouth, I heard Catherine's indifferent voice somewhere in the background. It's non-alcoholic. It really was. Sorry. I set the glass back down on the counter. You, on the other hand, you have kept your habits, I see. What do you mean? Her eyes shot over to the empty beer mug, which I tried to move far away as possible. Gosh darn it, bartender. It's been a rough day. Yeah? How so? Are you really interested? Just keep being up the conversation, or would you rather that I ignore you? I sighed in answer. I was caught into the principal's office. Yep, same reason as always, missing school. Well, you know me. There was also a curious episode with a certain Ojo-sama. You and your girlfriend? Are you mocking me? No, just keeping up with the conversation. I told you, if I'm disturbing you, I can leave. I don't have a girlfriend. Nor have I ever. I added in a half-whisper. I see. And how's Himitsu doing? If you're so interested, you can visit her and ask. I don't believe you've had a falling out with her. Perhaps I will go see her. Catherine responded vaguely and glanced towards the entrance. Was she about to leave? Something stung on the inside. I wanted her to stay, even if she was going to mock me. Himitsu's fine. I don't even know what else to tell you. Same as always, basically. Same as always, is she? She drawled. Are you surprised that someone can actually treat me normally? Of course not. I'm happy for Himitsu. And I'll definitely visit her if I get the chance, but now I need to go. Sayaka, I bet she's also an ESP. What's an ESP? She set the unfinished cocktail down on the counter and stood up. Alright, see you at school. Catherine nodded and exited the bar. Dang, bro, you took a beating. Don't even start. How about a drink on the house? Did he want to make it up to me? No thanks. I think I've had enough today. Oh, I bet she's also Esper. What do you mean by that? I left the bar and stretched. As expected, the bruises were aching. If the past couple of days of my life resembled some dumb manga from Kyosuke's collection, my encounters with Catherine felt more like a soap opera. A vicious, sticky, dark brew, but a beginning with no end. How long will this go on? In less than a year, I was going to graduate. Then what? My dad's savings were going to last long. I would need to get a job. Thoughts of higher education didn't cross my mind. But what skills did I possess? Did I want to toil interminably day after day like the Japanese? Did you know that there was even a special word in the Japanese that means death from overwork? Overwork? Questions, questions. Mind reading stuff and the like. Oh. I don't think so. Dot dot dot. It was getting late. I had been wandering aimlessly around the city for new numbers of hours, occasionally stepping inside stores or just window shopping. I was killing time, killing yet another day of my life. It was completely dark by the time I arrived at my house. The lights were on inside. I immediately remembered yesterday's note, and a light shiver down my spine. Nah, it was ridiculous. An assassin waiting for a victim inside a house, with the lights turned on? Still logical or not, someone was obviously moving inside. I carefully opened the door and saw a woman's shoes in the hallway. Himitsu. I should have guessed right away. Who else had any need of me? Hi, I said carelessly, entering the kitchen. Himitsu was sitting at a set table. She had apparently been waiting for some time. Niga-kun, where have you been? I was worried. If a moment, I might have been glad to see her. All that went out the window now. Not another interrogation. Oh, what happened to you? She jumped from her chair, then she noticed my black eye. Nothing serious. I ran into some robbers, made short work of them, and one got me in the eye. Stop talking nonsense. It's not nonsense. You want to see the police report? She pouted but calmed down, having probably realized that I was fine. I asked Kyosuke-kun, and he said that you weren't present for the last few lessons. So I wasn't. What of it? I snapped back. Nothing. It's just so much has happened lately. I was worried. Why would you worry about me? Did you think I was gonna go drown myself? No, I didn't. Nothing much has happened anyway. I was about to add, not to you anyways, but stopped myself the last second. Oh my god, I'm real mad. I'm real mad. Not mad, but I'm real on edge. After all, Himitsu has done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, she was looking at me expectantly. I had to tell her something. I debated whether I should mention Catherine. It's not like it's a secret or anything, right? Well, we didn't do anything objectionable. Still, maybe Himitsu didn't need to know any of about this. I was with Katya. Really now, why was I feeling embarrassed about this, like an 8th grader on his first date? Really cool. How was... Oh, wait, what? Katie-chan. I thought it was Katya. Okay. Himitsu replied without skipping a beat, as if reading from a script. I suppose she's fine, but you know how she is. Sometimes you have to drag every word out of her. Himitsu smiled. Alright, sit down and eat. Dinner's cold. Of course, but you only have yourself to blame. I was in fact hungry as blank. Man! If only I could have someone as sweet as this with me. I can just go home and the dinner's all ready for me, Anyways. We ate dinner in silence, without talking, without the TV, without even looking at each other. I could almost feel the charge in the air from the tension. It was one thing for me to stay silent, but why was Himitsu keeping quiet? Just because I told her about Catherine? After so many years, Himitsu had come to know me very well, so she knew that there was times when it was better to remain silent, and times that was better to do the opposite. Himitsu is super waifu material. What is she doing with a dummy like me? Yeah, she's so caring. I'm too lucky. I'm way too lucky. So, what was she hoping to achieve now? She knew I wasn't a fan of small talk, but the silence was becoming unbearable. How was school? Fine. That's it? Just fine? Nothing happened to Saya-chan? No, why do you ask? I set down the chopsticks and leaned back in my chair. Probably because you've been quiet this entire dinner. I'm not quiet. I mean, not on purpose. Himitsu got flustered. If this is because of Catherine... No, of course not. Then what is it? She was so obviously working up the courage to continue. These sorts of conversations had been difficult for her. It's because I was worried. Did you even check the time? You could have called at least. Called? Called where? Here, she replied in a faltering voice. How was I supposed to know you'd be here? We weren't living together last time I checked. Maybe that was That's unfortunate. She mumbled softly. I pretended not to hear it. Why am I so dumb? I'm all like, okay, I'm so like on edge with Catherine and caring all about Catherine when Catherine doesn't even care a second about me. And then over here, Himitsu is like giving me dinner all the time, waking me up all the time, calling during like 3 a.m. saying, "Are you okay?" and all this stuff, worried about me, literally said that she liked me. Literally, we've been hanging out all the time and I like hanging out with her. What is this? I pretended not to hear. The conversation has clearly taken a wrong turn. Alright, you know what? I'm very tired, hey. You head home, I'll do the dishes. But I'll see you tomorrow. Himitsu hung her head and stood up from the table. Good night. The waifu's already in front of you. Just go for it. Truly confusing. When the door closes behind her, I breathe a sigh of relief. Right now, I absolutely need some alone time. I felt as though trapped between two fires, or even 3 or 4. A veritable ring of fire was slowly but surely closing in on me. And how was I acting? Sluggishly and indifferently, like a decrepit old man who had long since stopped caring about his life. On the other hand, there was Catherine, who I simply couldn't put out of my mind. On the other, there was Himitsu, who clearly wasn't happy to see Catherine in black. Then there was also the note, the new acquaintances, my non-existent plans for the future, and the future itself, shrouded by a thick haze of uncertainty. I stretched out in bed and remembered Ellie. Even if the closet episode felt like it'd been ripped straight out of some tacky manga, it had still been a pleasant one. What if Ellie could help with the note somehow? No doubt she had good connections. As for Himitsu and Catherine, come what may, perhaps things would resolve themselves. Thinking these thoughts, I fell asleep. I was woken up by the telephone. What time was it? Let me guess, 3 a.m. Cost me some pains to make it to the phone. Hello? I sound terribly groggy. What is this again? Why are you so confusing? Nikolai, you're in great danger. You need to be extremely careful. A voice said in Russian. I was still half asleep, so I couldn't really understand what was going on. What? Who is this? I repeat, be extremely careful. Pay particular attention to what you're doing, who you talk to, and what you talk about. What is this? The voice sounded unnatural, as though a speaker had pressed a cloth against the receiver. Who is this? What do you want? Was it you who left? You've been warned. Beeping. Now I was really scared. Should I call the police? And what would I say? An ordinary school kid with no interest to anyone, a note, a telephone call? It all added up to a prank. However, the first thing I did was lock up the doors and unplug the phone. It could be a prank, but then who was the prankster? Michael wouldn't do it, and Kyosuke, it wouldn't even cross his mind. Basically, pick your route wisely. Oh god. What am I supposed to do? Holy shoot, this is scary. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's so confusing. I feel like I can't even choose one of them because one of them is gonna be like a killer at the end or something. Oh my god. And when did this all start? Just as Catherine returned to Japan? Even if she didn't even write the note. I pulled the blanket over my head. Sleep refused to come, but fear eventually subsided a bit. I told myself I would try to sort this out tomorrow with a fresher head. For a safer bet, pick Yaoi. Bruh! They wouldn't expect it, to be honest, right? Like, I don't know, the headmaster. Oh no, Gordon, ew. Ew. I woke up late. The time was already past noon. The house was quiet, too quiet, really. I had missed school again. Oh well, blank with it. After all, my life is now in the balance. Or was I being overly dramatic? I walked to the kitchen and stood there in stupor. My head felt heavy, thoughts of jumbled together. I wanted to sleep a little longer, stay another 10 or so hours. When is the music gonna happen? They said rock and roll. When is rock and roll gonna happen? I'm waiting for it. Love, where's the money part? Where's the rock and roll? Sorry, that was disgusting. Yeah, I do not need that in my life. A glass of cold water helped me bring back to life. I looked at myself in the mirror. Oddly enough, the black guy was gone. I checked all the doors, all locked doors and window, all locked securely, the way I had left them the night before. The foyer contained a note from Mitsu. I was worried, blah blah, will you come after school, more, blah blah blah. Thank you, but no thank you. This must have been the first time in 18 years alive that I faced a situation like this. The move to Japan at an early age, the challenges of adaptation, the death of my parents, all these have been tough, but they seem more like fate than the result of someone's malicious intent. This time was different. Someone was threatening me directly. Someone was warning, cautioning me, sincerely or not. But who could possibly take such interest in my person? That's when I had a epiphany. It did seem improbable that I personally could attract any notice, but perhaps this was about my parents. They did, after all, immigrate from the USSR and work for a Kobayashi Corporation. Besides, the voice on the phone yesterday was Russian, altered, for sure, but clearly unaccidented. Why the heck is there so many bugs in my room? I absolutely don't understand. And I don't know what to do with these bugs because I don't have my shoe right now. Oh wait, I have my shoe. Anyway. Wait for a moment. Let me see if I can hit these bugs. Hola. I'm not here to hurt you. Thank you. Is this like underground syndicate? What the heck? Kind of interesting. I guess so. Ah! Oh, God, where are you going? No! Don't run away. Ah, I ran away. Well, I'm never gonna see that insect again. Scary. It could be on my feet right now. Anyways, I hate bugs. I didn't know the exact nature of my parents' work, but could very well have been the serious of sorts. A lump formed in my throat, the sort of work one could get killed for. The most frustrating thing was that I knew nothing about it, except who was going to believe me. I had to act fast. I pulled out my dad's old address book and started scanning for numbers of his coworkers. A few I'd met, some I've heard of. In any case, anything would be better than sitting and waiting. Good afternoon, my name is Nikolai Ino-Cohen, and no luck with the first dozen numbers. Some people were no longer at their old jobs, others didn't pick up, and one person had even passed away. I turned the page. There was numbers written in my father's firm, even hand, and underneath that name, Ichino-san. Ichinos? I heard that last name before. Long ringtones. 1, 2. After 10, I was absolutely... when a familiar elderly voice sounded on the other hand. Hello. At that point, I remembered. This Ichino used to visit frequently when I was younger. The ever-polite, affable, good-humored old gentleman. He used to bring me candy, ask me with interest about schools and my hobbies. Maybe all the girls are hired assassin. Maybe Himichu's actually spying on you. Holy shoot. Maybe. And then maybe, like, Catherine... I don't know. This is all so interesting. Then he and Dad would sit together in the garden for long stretches of time with an air of importance, a lot of smoking and conversing together. Good afternoon, my name is Nikolai, and I... Oh, Nikolai-kun! He interrupted. Long time no see, how are things? Fine. I gave a shocked, stocked answer. Was I supposed to dump everything at once? all that had befallen me the last few days. I'm sorry about your parents. The voice of the receiver turned sad. I vaguely recall seeing Ichino's at the funeral. Thank you. Actually, that's why I called. I mean, not literally, of course. For a moment, I remained silent. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Could you please tell me about my father's work? I know he worked as an engineer, but what exactly did he work on? Did something happen? Why do you suddenly want to know, now of all times? To tell the truth, something did happen, but it doesn't matter. Why not? Can't you tell me? Yes, of course I could, but it's just the reasons What reasons did I actually have to trust him? Just because he'd been over our house a couple times and he had been nice to me? So, are you gonna tell me or not? Is this some kind of secret? It's not a secret, no, but it's somewhat complicated. I mean, the title gives the vibe that they're robbing a bank. To be honest, the title gives me the vibe that it's like love, money, rock and roll. It's like, it's not what I expected this game to be. I expected the game to be like a band and then we're like dealing with like love problems, but this is so much different. This is like some murder crime or something. I get it. I get that it's complicated. I'm no longer a child. I spouted back. So what happened? Some people came by and asked questions about my father, about his work. I lied. Ask about his work, did they? Ichino stretched out the words ambiguously. And what exactly did they ask? I don't know. I mean, I didn't tell them anything because I don't know anything myself. And how were they asking? What do you mean? Well, what was the tone? Now I was absolutely certain that Ichino knew far more than he was letting on. What more? Ichino seemed apprehensive. Should I be worried? That is for you to know. He replied coldly. If I knew anything, I wouldn't be calling you, right? Nikolai, you shouldn't drag yourself into this. Why? Do you know something? Tell me. This concerns me too, you know. No, this doesn't. In fact, concern you. If I lay low, everything... In fact, concern you, and if you lay low, everything will be alright. But that's not... That's all I'm gonna say. Don't call here again. Short ringtones now. Everything will be alright. Yeah, sure it will. On the other hand, I could at least thank him for indirectly confirming my suspicions. This is indeed about my father. I collected my thoughts and tried to remember everything my father had told me about his job, engineer. And what do engineers do? Build stuff, more accurately draw up plans. What does a 16-year-old kid care about such maintenance? What had mattered to me was that I received my allowance and that all was well at home. I was certain about one thing. My father had not worked in construction as such. Defense, maybe? Had he worked for the military? But what difference did that make? I still did not know a thing about his actual work, unless the whole thing was someone's sick practical joke. The hour landed, the clock moved inexorably towards 3, and I hadn't even eaten breakfast yet. Himitsu would arrive soon, the note made it clear. Enough already. She wasn't my mother after all. Of course, as I thought, I felt sheepish. Regardless, I absolutely had to get some fresh air. Bro, is this really a underground syndicate dating sim? Who knows? Who knows? I decided to go to my favorite bar for lunch, even if it was the site of yesterday's unfortunate incident. The bell above the door made a pleasant chiming sound as I entered, but none of the handful of Patreon presents looked my way. Only the bartender gave me a customary smile and waved at me. Hey, Nick. We've been seeing a lot of you lately. Not that I'm not happy about it, but after yesterday. I stopped in front of the bar, not knowing what to say. What if this dude is suspicious? Nah. No, my resentment towards him has already passed. After all, people had their own lives and jobs to worry about. Will it be the usual? No, I've come for lunch. Got it. And what would you like? Don't know. Give me a steak, I guess. It shall be done. I bet the bar has a hidden armory room. True, though. The bartender managed to imitate the Japanese way of addressing guests to a near perfection, but he twisted it with his own particular way, such that he ended up sounding more like an overly gregarious host of a medieval tavern. Welcome! I sat down at a table and sank in thought. The steak turned out well, as expected. The food here was good as the beer. I was lazily picking my teeth with a toothpick when some sooners pleasant sound of the door chimes was heard again, signaling the arrival of a new visitor. Standing in the door was Michael. Here was one person I'd never expect to see here. Though, why not? Michael, you're being suspicious. He noticed me and came to sit at my table. A split second later, the bartender stood by us and placing a menu in front of Michael. A friend of yours, Nikolai? He spoke in Russian, hideously drawling my name out in a French manner. Something like that. Yes, a classmate. I replied in Japanese. What does the sir desire? I couldn't decide whether I was more irritated or amused by his performance. Just coffee. Right away. Chimed the bartender before taking it off. Is school over? It is, and you didn't show up. Yeah, I had some business to take care of. Shall we say? This is getting a bit suspicious. What is going on? I can't see the thing. I had known Michael for 2.5 years. He was from the States, and his parents has also been working in Japan for a while. We had never been particularly close, but his seriousness and uncommonly mature attitude towards life commanded a certain respect. You could say he was a mere opposite of Kyosuke. I take it you don't want to go into the details. Not especially. Some guys at school has been bragging that they thrashed someone yesterday. And? I snarled back, irritated. It was hard to tell with Michael if he was hinting at me or just sharing school gossip. You haven't heard anything about that? No. I see. He kept sipping his coffee, gazing somewhere past me. It's uncommunicative as uncommunicative as I could be at times. Michael was something else. Did he really feel comfortable at that moment? So, what's going on at school? The usual. And how's Catherine? The question slipped off my tongue of its own accord. I hadn't even thought about her until that moment. Michael set down his cup and stared at me intently. Don't know. We're not acquainted, remember? Oh, right. Back then, we were in a different class. He kept giving me a weird look. What? Was there something between the two of you? I bet you already heard everything from Kyosuke. But I'm asking you at the moment. Okay, yes, there was something. But it was a long time ago. And now? And now, there's nothing. I see. Are you curious because the two of you are from the same country? I'm just wondering, why did she enroll in this particular school? I don't know, you'll have to ask her. By now, I was sick of this question, even if typically I was the one posing it to myself. Have you thought that maybe there's a reason behind it? What difference does it make? Got it! What I have or haven't thought. You don't know Catherine. Thinking is a waste on her. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. This has nothing to do with you. I just have bigger things to worry about. Michael kept his voice so calm and level the entire time, it was beginning to annoy me. If he didn't actually care, why ask all these questions? Anyways, this is not the most pleasant of subjects. This is very suspicious. I don't know who I should be, like, pointing fingers at or suspecting. Sorry, I didn't realize the two of you still. He coughed up pointedly. That it was an unpleasant topic for you. Yeah, he could have guessed. Imagine that. I felt like tossing some bills on the table and walking out, but I had a few friends, as it was, while this kind of behavior was, on the whole typical of Michael. Did anyone ask about me at school? I haven't heard anything. I think Ellie finally saw your message on Discord. Yo, where? Huh? Ellie, hello! Welcome! I totally haven't been flirting at you. Ojo-sama. How are you doing, Ojo-sama? Anyways. I see, and how are things with you anyways? Not bad, except that I have no free time at all. I'm preparing for college admission. College admission? I stretch out the words. And where do you have in mind? Most likely, go back to the States. What, tired of this place? I smirked. It's just that higher education is better there. Michael calmly responded. His words touched a nerve. Unlike him, I had little choice. And even if I wanted to, the best I could hope for with my grades was a minimum wage job. Our conversation had not gelled from the get-go. Well, I think I'll be heading out. See you tomorrow at school. See you. He said the same constant tone. I waved goodbye to the bartender and exited. Had the bar been a courtroom, Michael would have fit the place as of the prosecutor to perfection. Stern, cold, dispassionate, operating with only facts. And what would my chances would have been, seeing how I fled off the handle at the drop of a hat? I wandered aimlessly around the city, passing street after street, neighborhood after neighborhood. I found myself in a part of a town where I'd never been before. A curious thing, Tokyo was. Of course, much larger than my hometown. But back during my childhood, everything looked huge to me. The apartment, the yard, the kindergarten building, the store across the street. So my mind could comfortably draw comparisons between the tiny patch of childhood space and the multi-million megalopolis. Elliot, what you laughing about? You good over there? I suppose I always... Yo, that building looks like Minecraft's. True. I suppose I had always been at ease in a crowd of perpetual rushing strangers. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Sometimes I walked in the same direction as they, as though in lockstep, and other times I walked against the flow. The crowds paid no attention to me, accepted me as one of their own, and thank goodness of that, perhaps because this is the ability of mine. I now noticed that someone was following you. Someone was following me! Holy shoot! I now noticed that someone was following me. Sure, it's often the case that a stranger happens to be going the same area as you. One turn, two, a crossing, no problem, but when you're just wandering around and someone's following you like a shadow, then you clearly know it's no coincidence. I quickened my pace, crossed a red, turned an alleyway, and walked briskly through it. Two possibilities were emerging. Either I was being paranoid, or I had managed to shake off my tail. I pretended to be checking out the TV behind the window of an electronics store. At least 5 minutes had passed on, but the mysterious pursuer did not show up. It occurred to me that I finally lost my mind. This called for a seductive, whatever it's called, or a drink. But I hadn't made it up, I was sure someone had been following me. Who and why was another question. Maybe I relaxed too early. Was it worth checking again? I wouldn't go back. I would not go back. Quit psyching yourself out, my mind protested. I may have imagined something that wasn't there. Or what if those were in fact two different people who just happened to look alike? I took a deep breath and continued my aimless wandering. Even if it was someone, I wouldn't even, go back. Dude, what if they were trying to kill you? I wouldn't even go near someone. I still kept looking around, and no one was following me any longer. It was already dark when I found myself in front of a music club, which I occasionally visit to see the local underground bands. Oh, is this the music? If daytime in Tokyo still felt as warm as in the summer? I bet Ellie is on that Minecraft building ready to snipe the pursuer. Evenings were getting increasingly colder. I wrapped myself more tightly in the denim jacket and shivered. The house was some distance from the club, so it made sense to go inside to warm up. Yo, this is some nice music. Inside there was a seizable crowd. Cigarette smoke hung heavy, and the air was saturated with spicy aromas of beer, steak, whiskey, and goodness who knows what. Frankly, a bender was not on my to-do list for the day. This was too much to pass by. I got a beer from the bar and squeezed myself closer to stage. The first band was playing with some uncomplicated heavy metal. The Japanese bands playing this kind of music didn't try to reinvent the wheel, content to blindly copy Western masters. Some managed this better than others. The present performers managed to do so, which is why the majority of the audience was occupied with anything and everything except listening to the music. The wretched rockers, who couldn't possibly not notice this, got completely disheartened towards the end, trying only to avoid making complete fools of themselves. Alright. I gotta quickly do the schedule stream before I forget. So this is Will I Be Ending. But holy shoot. This is gonna be a long game. From what I heard, it's a really long game. So y'all ready for this? Woo! I don't know. Alright. Let's get going with this. I'll try and finish as fast as I can. But the best part was coming up. I know! I'm sorry. But I gotta get this done. Schedule fun. I know, isn't it so fun? Sorry. This game, I mean. But how about this for the whole week? Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a good idea. You want to do that? I'm gonna blame you, Gordon, for doing this. So... if you say so. Oh ho ho. Honestly, sounds like a plan to me. Honestly, to be honest, I kind of want to finish this game early. So... oi, why me? Okay. Right. Just a suggestion. Nope, nope, nope. This is your fault. Gordon's idea. Not mine. Wednesday. I will not be here on Saturday, so no stream. Wait, no. Stream will be... oh shoot, I'm gonna be so busy. Okay, in the morning. Morning, I don't know, morning, membership stream. And then I'll be your fault. All right. I'll be seeing you guys. Bye byes. I gotta go right now though. Oh! Oh! Amazing schedule. I can't wait. See you guys.